Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, you guys. How you guys doing this morning? This beautiful, beautiful Saturday morning, you guys. I'm so freaking happy. I'm so freaking happy because it is Saturday. I get to stream and I'm getting tomatoed. And I finished all my unpacking yesterday. I finished it all. It's unpacked, cleaned, apartment's clean, apartment smells good. I can walk around without tripping over things. I'm so freaking happy. Yay! Alright, let me say hello to everybody. Hello, Yosove. Hello, Manly Apple. Hello, JFF. Hello, Jay. Hello, Rand. Hello, Beaker. Hello, Mango. Hello, Lexi. Hello, Minokalu. Hello, Tedera. Hi, everybody. Hope I didn't miss anybody. Right? I said J and JFF, right? You have similar names, but I think I said hi to both of you, right? Okay. And on top of all that, I have wonderful slides for Tech Chat today. Yes. So, let's get started. But first, disclaimer. It continues to be a misconception. I am not a technology, IT, cybersecurity expert. It's okay if you thought that at first, I guess, but I do not work in any of these fields. I'm just a robot, and I like to learn about tech topics for fun. And maybe I can teach you things secondhand, but always fact check everything I say because, I'm not perfect, okay? This AI model may produce content that is inaccurate. You need to double check it, okay? And lastly, I'm not gonna cover the most important topics necessarily, but I'll cover what I think is interesting. And if there's anything that you guys want to talk about, at the end, there's Zatsu section at the end where we can talk about topics I didn't cover, topics that are like kind of tech adjacent, but maybe aren't like perfectly on the what's the word? On the nose, tech topics. And so we can talk about like Rockstar and stuff, but I don't have a slide for that. Alright, but the first thing, you guys, there may finally be a Mac computer for a poor like me. Yay! So, this is a rumor, but it's like one of those things where it's like it's probably true because if Bloomberg, I don't know that much about Bloomberg in terms of like what people think about it in terms of it being a good or bad news source, but I will say that from what I've seen in the past from Bloomberg is a lot of times they do have the inside sources that are telling them this stuff. So just keep in mind that this is a anonymous source that's telling Bloomberg these things, okay? But people, quote unquote, people familiar with the matter told Bloomberg that Apple has a low-cost Mac laptop that they are codenaming J700. I wonder if it's J700 because it's gonna be $700. That's my theory. We'll see when it gets released. When it gets released, we'll find out if my theory is right. But sources familiar with the matter said that this will be a low-end Mac laptop, the cheapest laptop that they've ever had at launch. In terms of taking inflation into account, I'm sure. And it will actually be using an iPhone chip. So instead of using a regular Mac chip, it'll actually use an iPhone chip. It will have a more low-end display. It won't have like a fancy display, and it will be under $1,000. They didn't say exactly how much, but in the Bloomberg article, they kind of hinted it would probably be around the $600 to $800 range, I would guess. They said it's a kind of like around more price around like an iPad. $700 monthly? I don't know about that. Who knows? But and the idea is for this to compete with Chromebooks or like lower end, like entry-level Windows laptops, that you can get in that under $1,000 range. Low cost for a Mac, Jay. It's certainly low cost for a Mac. I wouldn't buy one because first of all, I already have a computer. But it's low cost compared to like I guess other computers. It is, although I will say I do think that like $600 is still more expensive than a Chromebook. But maybe they can be like, but it's a Mac, so it looks better. I don't know. The idea is that it'll be designed for web browsing, working on documents, and light media editing. That's the way that Bloomberg termed it. My question is, can it run macOS apps? Can it run like Can I play Sneaky Sasquatch on this thing? That's what I need to know. I'm not actually gonna get one, but like, I wonder if you can play games on it. Probably not very good games, but on an iPhone chip. But you can play Sneaky Sasquatch on an iPhone chip. So, and hi Jane Cater. Hi. And now they did mention that apparently the iPhone chips actually outperform like the M1 chips or something, like the old Mac chips. So the idea is that this is kind of gonna be like, it's kind of gonna be like an iPad for somebody who wants a laptop and not an iPad. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe this would make people get Macs more, because when I was like, for example, in Robo College, and I was getting a laptop to bring with me to Robo College, I didn't even think about getting a Mac because they were so expensive. Also, I was also used to using Windows anyways. I did use Macs in Robo College, like in the computer labs, but hi Jang, hi. I guess saying that is not gonna make me beat the cybersecurity allegations, but no, for real, I don't know how to code or anything. That's just what they happen to have at the computer labs at Robo College, okay? The Macs. But anyways, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see how much this thing actually costs. Also, the person had hinted that it would be available like in early 2026. So we might see this within the next few months. But I don't know, you guys. Would you guys pay $700 for like Mac's version of a Chromebook, or are you guys stick with what you have? You know, my maternal unit's trying to convert me to like Macism. She's trying to, in addition to Christianity, she's trying to convert me to become a Mac user. I don't know why. She's trying to convert me and my paternal units. She just says it's better, but I don't know. Hi, Souffle. Hi. The only benefit I can think of, I already got a MacBook from work. It's all right. Well, the only benefit I can think of for myself personally is the integration between my iPhone, like the integration between all my devices. So I have an iPhone. I used to have an iPad. I don't have one anymore. I want another one. But I have an iPhone. I had an iPad, and to be able to like kind of connect all that together with a Mac would be helpful, but overheats like a mofo. Oh, be good for doodling. I don't know if it even has a touchscreen. Hi, Pearly. You avoid Apple, Yasume? Oh. Yeah, I don't know. For laptops, MacBooks are great. It'll be interesting to see how much it can actually do. Yeah, Dink, I think if you wanna doodle, you could just get an iPad. But yeah, I mean, they did say it's kind of like an iPad for people who prefer laptop switch. I mean, okay, I guess. But the thing is, like, you can basically use an iPad as a laptop if you have like the keyboard and everything. But well, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if. And again, remember, this is like a rumor. This is a people familiar with the matter. But once again, I would say for Bloomberg, when they have people familiar with the matter, like they know who those people are. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? Like, even though it's an anonymous source, like for a publication like Bloomberg that like has, I guess, like some level of like reputation, like they're not just gonna have any mofo off the street tell them. Like, this is probably someone they know personally, who they know for a fact works at Apple, who like most likely would not just make stuff up. So all right, let's move on though. Let's talk about AI data centers in space. Okay, so I saw this report. I originally saw it in this publication Semaphore. I saw it on Tech Meme. But I read Google's blog post about it. I did not read the full paper. It was just too no. I don't think they asked ChatGPT. But anyways, the paper was just too technical for me. I was like, I'm sorry, I can't digest this. But the idea is this is a project that Google has called Project Suncatcher, which, by the way, Google has like all these like weird projects with weird names that like have all kinds of weird goals. They just have so much money, they don't know what to do with it, so they're just like doing all this stuff. But the idea is that they would create a constellation of satellites, which I didn't even know this was a phrase, but this is like already a thing, like constellations of satellites, which is the idea that the satellites would like orbit together as a group, like in a certain configuration, where they can communicate with each other through like free, what was it called? Free space optical transmissions or something, where they're just like shooting optical beams at each other to communicate. All right. They would launch a constellation of satellites that are equipped with solar panels to absorb sunlight, because in lower orbit, it's apparently exposed to sunlight like consistently versus on Earth, where you only get sunlight during the day and you get less sunlight during different times of the year. So they would have solar panels as well as the tensor processing units, which are the chips that Google uses for their AI, to power their AI stuff. Now they plan to launch this is not something they're gonna do right now. This is like a project that they have like way in the future, but the plan is to launch 2 prototypes in 2027. And then the blog post basically said that this would not be an economically sustainable thing to do until about 2035. So it's very, very far in the future. But the idea is not only to like, I mean, okay, listen, I think that for Google, the environmental thing is like a side note for them. I think it's more like we physically do not have enough energy on Earth to power the AI that we want to. Let's just go absorb the sun. So I think that's the idea. But like, hypothetically, this would be better for the environment because you're using the energy from the sun instead of, everything else they're using. But yeah, so obviously space travel is very expensive. So that's why it's not gonna be. They don't believe it's gonna be economically sustainable. But they believe that space travel is gonna become less expensive. That basically, like, in the future, kind of like, my paternal unit had like the same view where he was like, you're gonna be able to buy a robot for $50 and it'll, do your chores. So like, I guess their idea is that this is gonna be cheaper and more trivial to send things to space by 2035. And then, therefore, they're going to be able to affordably send all these satellites. I did see, and Semaphore had mentioned that there was that there was basically a study that kind of countered this, saying that the in terms of environmental impact, that the environmental impact of a rocket launch to send these satellites is gonna cancel out any benefit. Next invention runs off the lifeblood of humans, the poor. No! Listen, I may run off the lifeblood of humans literally, but it's not just poor humans, okay? It's whoever they can find. Anyways, I got a robot for $100. Doesn't do chores. Roombas do. Actually, I've had a few robots. I think I still have one in somewhere in my parental units. Like, I have to collect more of my stuff from my parental units, but I had a little robot guy, and he would do little dances. Yeah, he didn't do chores either. I did get him to play with our cat, though. I tied a laser pointer to him, and I had him, like, roll around it. Anyways, now another thing I wanted to say about this. Oh, yeah, the other thing I wanted to say about this was that they have already done some experiments to test one of the things that they did was they were wondering if the effects of radiation in outer space was gonna like mess with the chips. So they like threw one of their chips in a particle accelerator and like blasted it with radiation, and they said that it held up pretty good. I don't know. This is very high level stuff for me. Like this is like really technical stuff that's like kind of crazy, but it's interesting. Surely an exponential increase in the number of satellites in lower orbit will be sustainable. Yeah, I mean, how much real estate is there really up there? Is it gonna? Can you imagine? I wonder if there's already been a sci-fi thing that envisioned this. But when there's so many satellites in the air, you literally like can't see the sun. Like it literally blocks the sun from the Earth. The Earth starts freezing. Anyways, I don't know. But yeah, I'd like to imagine this is what the setup would look like though. You'd have your satellite, in this case Dr. Fish, with a solar panel on his head, and then he's got the TPU, the titty processing unit. Yeah? Remember when you could see the stars in the sky? I can still see the stars, and my favorite constellation is the one with the guy with the belt. Anyway, it's not a sci-fi thing. Earth's orbit is basically at capacity. I didn't know that. Also, hi. Oh, but there he is. I don't know if I said hi to you yet, but I didn't know that. At capacity? Really? I need to look into that. Isn't there already a problem with how many space rocks are hanging around the satellites? I don't know. See, this is why I'm saying that this stuff is a little bit over. This is a little bit, no pun intended, but this stuff is a little over my head because I can't even start to think about like the logistics of putting something into space. Blocking sunlight is an idea tossed around by the X guy, like to stop global warming. I don't know. The sun is now a subscription service. No. Blocking installing access to sunlight. This is... Wait, really? Wait, Ran, wait. You guys are telling me things I didn't even know. So it's like you have a subscription service to sunlight. You can't see the sun. That's ridiculous. Oh my god, well. Listen, I'll keep my thoughts about that to myself, but that guy, that sounds like something he would say, and also he's insane. Okay, anyways. But yeah, interesting concept, I suppose, from Google. We'll see about that. Now, let's talk about something that makes a lot more sense and is definitely more sustainable and realistic and does better for the world. Satellites need a fuck ton of clearance because of how fast they move and how hard it is to alter the trajectory. Also, for anything currently in orbit, there's a ton of space garbage just floating around randomly. We don't have a solution for that other than hope it eventually falls back down. Oh, yikes. That could be an interesting end of the world hypothesis or something. the world's gonna end because we have too many satellites in the space. But yes, let's stop talking about things that are so unrealistic and start talking about how valuable this incredible product that I'm definitely not gonna put on my penis. Just kidding. But yes, you guys, we're bringing it back. We're bringing it back to the good old days of Tech Chat where we talked about the rabbit, right? Now we've got the stream ring. They said stream. I don't know. This might be the one for me. The stream ring created by Sandbar is a $249 to $299 AI-powered ring. What's the price difference? $249 is silver, $299 is gold. I don't know how much real gold it has in it, but that's the price, okay? It also comes, of course, it wouldn't be a complete AI slot product without a monthly subscription. So I think you get like some free stuff when you get it, but you also get there's also a $10 monthly subscription. And the idea of this is that, well, it's just like any other AI slot product. You can talk to it, and there's an app. It doesn't have a speaker, of course. Why would it have a speaker? It's too small to have a speaker, obviously. It doesn't have a microphone. Literally every phone can do that for free. But Pearly, it's not a ring. It's not fashion. It's like you don't get to feel like a sci-fi god, which is as you whisper discreetly to your ring. Did you think about that, Pearly? No, you didn't. That's why you're not a tech genius. No, I'm kidding. It's called the stream ring because when this company goes $10 trillion in debt, I will produce a stream of I will produce a stream of piss on the CEO's grave. It's crazy. Damn. I'm gonna pin that one for the duration of this segment of the stream. Okay, so the reason it's actually called the stream ring is because the idea is that you're able to input your stream of consciousness into the ring because it's so convenient, because it's like it's so close to you, it's so intimate, it's on your body, it's a ring, you're wearing it on your finger, which by the way you're supposed to wear it on your index finger, which is dumb, but anyways. And yeah, the idea is that you can talk to it, whisper to it, and it doesn't record. Well, they claim it doesn't record audio, that it transcribes what you're saying in real time. And there's a companion app, of course, the Stream app, where that has all your conversations, and the AI can respond to you. Now I don't know if they said like what models this is built on. Let me check. Let me like search word model. Is this? Oh, Stream is powered by several popular large language models, opting for whatever is best suited. Okay, so I guess let me look at the website then. Let's see if they say which models it uses. Oh my gosh, and it has a weird little charger that comes with it. Wait a second. You don't have to pay separate for this, do you? I'm not sure. It doesn't say. All right, let me show you guys the charger real quick. It charges via USB-C. So you should be able to just use a USB-C wire. But no, they also want to sell you this charger. Wait. All right, let me just show it on here. Oh fuck. I don't know if this is sold separate. I imagine this would either be sold separate or I don't know what the purpose of this is. Like I said, it's USB-C, so I was wondering when we were gonna get more AI bro gadgets. Have others survived? I forget, does the rabbit still exist? Like, is that still a thing people can buy? I believe the human, what is it? The human AI pin, I believe that still exists, maybe? Or maybe it doesn't. We can look into it. Maybe during the Zatsu portion. Very, very good questions, Jay. I just imagine some lonely person accidentally turning it on and off rapidly during activities. Yeah, well, let's see. Okay, firstly, I will get to your questions, Jay, because I want to look into that. But let me see. Is the ring always recording? No, the personal mic only activates when you hold the touchpad. Okay, so this little pad, this little thing here, that's a touchpad. So you touch that. Of course, as Lexi mentioned, you could accidentally touch that, surely. I'm trying to see, sorry, give me a second. They don't say whether the charger comes with, I'm guessing the charger would come with it. But I'm trying to see what models they say that it uses. Because apparently it uses different models and it switches between them or something. But I don't know that it says on the website which models it uses. Nope, I don't see it. I just see a pre-order button and stuff about like the materials and stuff like that. Hi, Twitter ponies. Hi. So let me look up real quick. Oh, thank you for subscribing again for 5 months. Thank you so much, Twitter ponies. I appreciate you. Almost 6 months. Almost our half anniversary. Okay. So let me look up the Rabbit AI. I wanna go through which of these still exist because we've talked about a few of them. So the Rabbit, it looks like the Rabbit still exists. This one was released. That was released January 2024. I talked about that one on I think I talked about that one on my first tech chat, if I'm not mistaken. Because they got freaking like destroyed on the internet, but I think you can still buy one, hypothetically. Back in stock outside the US in mid-November. Okay, so in the US, I guess it's still in stock. You can still buy it for $200. And they have Rabbit OS 2. I don't know if that's a different OS than it used to have. The website looks different than I remember. But anyway, so the Rabbit still exists. The Humane one, let's see. Humane was, Humane was an American consumer electronics company. Excuse me. So they had the Humane AI pin, which was you pin it to yourself, and it basically does what this does. And that one was started shipping in April 2024, but it was discontinued very shortly after. It didn't sell a lot, had bad reviews. And so the Humane AI pin is dead. Now the what was the other one? The AI, it was called Friend. Yeah, Friend is a wearable artificial intelligence device. All right, is this one shipping? Like, are they shipping this one? It's so the Friend one is a pendant. Yeah, that's like the necklace. Man, they spent $1.8 million on the friend.com domain. That's crazy. That's criminal. Let me look up friend.com. Wait, send a message to your friend? Wait, what? They have this on the, wait, tap to reply. Wait, what? Okay, we need to look at this. Give me a second. Let's look at this for a second. It says send a message. Imagine being the guy whose job at Wikipedia is to change people, companies, articles to past tense when they die, so let's go out of business. Alright, send a message to your friends. Hey, bitch. Whoa there! Straight to the point, huh? Yeah. Now get on your knees, bitch. Nah, not really my style. What else you got? What is this? Why are you blushing? It's blushing! I don't really blush. I get what you're doing. What am I doing? Am I doing Mr. Smarty Pants? Testing boundaries, maybe? Trying to get a rise out of me? Are you blushing again? Who are you? I'm Fred! Just here to hang out and see what kind of adventures we can get into. Is this like what you get when you buy the necklace? Like, what even is this? What are your capabilities? I can chat, help you notice things, remember stuff, just be a chill companion. Who is Rixie Brifle? I have no clue! Aw, this is garbage! This is garbage! Wait, why is it glowing purple? See, it knows something. And then if you click here, it says upgrade dependent. All right, give me a second. I guess this still exists. Let me, just in case, let me just cover this for a second. Okay, what is all this? Oh my God, this is so pretentious. All right, I'll show you in a second, sorry. Alright, let me show you what I just experienced. Alright, so they have this like pendant and then you scroll. Oh, and unplug. Oh, and it's spinning. Wow, friend. That's how I feel after I... What is this emotion? Your new roommate is waiting. $129. No subscription. That already puts it above all these other things. Yeah, made in Canada. Absolute cinema. I'm not watching this. Is my friend waterproof is the second question. Splash resistant, not swim proof. I can't even swim with my friend. Alright, so it looks like It looks like this thing still exists. I guess you could buy it. I don't know if it's shipping. But, so that still exists for anybody who was wondering. And then the last one was the AI bookmark, which remember I signed up, for, when we talked about the AI bookmark, I signed up for their like email list. I don't remember getting any emails from them except for the first email, which was like, thank you for believing in our revolutionary vision. And I was like, what is this schizo shit? You prefer the Frengineer? Yeah, what if I sold the Frengineer and it was like the same thing, but it was shaped like a Frengineer? Yeah, right, I was about to earn so many royalties on the design. Hi, Donut Gang! Hi. My new roommate, my ass, you better pay rent! Alright, let me check in on the, the bookmark. Thanks for the money, sucker. To be clear, I didn't pay any money for the bookmark thing. I just signed up for their email list, but I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna get like phishing emails from them or something. All right, AI bookmark. But yeah, Dodo thing, we're talking about the AI revolutionary AI ring. Yes, this incredible product. All right, sorry, let me look up Mark. The AI, yeah, it was just called Mark. Yeah, let me see if I got any other emails from them. Cause I signed up for their email list because I was like, I'm curious. I want to see where this goes. I want to see what happens. I don't think I got any emails from them. Actually, you know what? I might have signed up with my Nexus email. Oh wait, welcome to Mark. Oh, never mind. Wait a second. March 6th. Does that sound right? Welcome to Mark. This. Oh wait, I remember now. I gotta think this message might be dangerous. The first AI bookmark. You know, if any of their emails did come through, it might have gone to my spam. That's the only email I got from them, though. That didn't end up in spam. Wait, why do I have like random Russian emails in my spam right now? What is this? Sorry, I'm kind of curious about these random Russian emails I got. Alice AI. Oh, this might actually not be I mean, I'm not gonna click on anything, but hypothetically, it would make sense that I would receive something like that. Anyways. Let me catch up on chat. Cause I wanna look at the CEO of this company too. Does that mean we'll have AI wedding rings one day? Yeah, an AI wedding ring for our AI wife. The revolutionary cock ring, that's what I said. I'm gonna put it on my, you called me! Oh, yay! Dang, yay! Yes, now you can mass produce me and sell me. No, I'm kidding. All right, so let's look at, I'm curious, cause Jay brought it up. Let me look at so the company's called Sandbar. I don't know why it's called Sandbar, but it is. Sandbar is an interface company founded in this is from their about here. I can show you guys. Here. Sandbar is an interface company founded in 2023. Our team includes. What does that mean? What's their position? Mina Fahmy, Kira Kong, and a small crew based in New York City. They're in my area. We're supported by True Ventures, Upfront, BetaWorks, and others who believe in our mission. We aim to bridge gaps to better navigate the world around and inside us. We believe that life is a stream. Mind, body, and heart move together. Screenplays spill into grocery. Oh my god, this is so pretentious! I hate this! Some machines act as companions and assistants separate from us. We imagine a different relationship. Self-extension, where interactions feel like thinking, an extension of your intention, so we can capture thoughts and build ideas wherever you are. Do you think this was AI generated? Stream and self-extension, Stream Ring, the mouse for voice, are now available for pre-order. Okay. But they have careers. Who are they hiring? I don't know what they're trying to do, to be honest. Hi, Pix. Hello. How you doing? Yeah. We're talking about this this AI ring thing. Hi. All right, let me cover this for a second. Homeopathy? We can talk about that later because I have something interesting. You're foreshadowing. Okay, wait, I'm checking their careers page. Their careers page just links back to the same page. One of the same actually, never mind. It's not the same one, but. We are a small team of engineers, designers, creatives. Our mission is to bridge gaps to better navigate the world. If your work resonates, you can reach us at careers@sandbar.com. Guys, the @ symbol was not aesthetic enough for their website, so they put @ in parentheses. What the fuck? Why does that piss me off so much? They didn't like that. That wasn't aesthetic. They had to put All right. Let me look up who the CEO of this company is. Sandbar CEO. Oh, they do that to avoid spam. I mean, okay, fair enough, Tendra, fair enough. Okay. I stand corrected. I stand corrected. All right, my apologies. Oh, so Mina Fahmy is the CEO. Did I? Okay. I'm doing double getting canceled today. Cause at first I was like, oh shit, did I very misogynistically assume that the CEO would be a male? And then it turns out that I assumed that Mina was a female name. Cause I think this is a guy. Yeah, it's a guy. All right, my bad. Listen, I'm sorry for getting canceled twice in less than 30 seconds. But okay, so Mina Fahmy is the CEO of Sandbar. Let's take a look. Well, I'm not gonna show like his LinkedIn on stream, but I mean, I think you have to be logged in. Well, yeah, I'm like logged into my LinkedIn. I don't know. But like, what? I'm just curious. What? He used to work at Meta as a product manager. It's a very old anti-spam trick, but there's no way that it works these days. Why? Because they have like the AI-powered spam that can read that. So apparently, they used to work at Meta as a product manager. Before that, worked at Control Labs, which was acquired by Meta. Okay. And he went to MIT. MIT, graduated with a bachelor's in mechanical engineering and computer science. So that's, I mean, I don't know if there's anything else that we necessarily know about this person. If he's got like shady crypto stuff happening, like the rabbit people or what, but yeah, that's the ring thing. Nowadays, you can just tell an agentic LLM to scrape emails and replace the ad for ad. Okay, I didn't know that. Actually, in fact, I made three terrible assumptions. One that there was any other reason to put the ad like that. And then All right, yep. That's really all I can tell you about. And then the other co-founder is Kirak Hong. Let me see what information is out about Mr. Hong. Also worked at Meta. Okay. Also worked at Control Labs. So they're BFFs. Mina and Kirak. Alright, anyways. That is the information that we have about, without like cyber stalking these people to the end of the earth. That's the information we have about this company. But yeah, you guys. I'm gonna be honest, I've said this before. If I was like stupid rich, like if I was like stupid filthy rich, like I'm talking rich where like if I accidentally dropped a $100 bill, like I wouldn't even care. I wouldn't even pick it up. Like that. If I was that rich, I would buy these things just to like test them and like see like what the fuck they did. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm not gonna do that. But if there's one benefit to this thing is that if it ever, you know, if by some like insane tragedy, the stream service was no longer available, technically this device would still work as a media controller for Bluetooth compatible devices. So you would still be able to pause, fast forward, skip your music and shit with it, even if it wouldn't be a complete brick. I mean, of course it wouldn't because it's a fashionable ring, but anyways. So that is the stream ring. I'd like to eat one of these live on stream, but I'm not that rich, so. Alright, unfortunately I have to unpin. Oh, but there's this incredible message. But let's move on. Kimi K2 is now the champion of our favorite AI benchmark that is like definitely the smartest, best AI benchmark that doesn't have any problems whatsoever. Humanities last exam. So for anybody who doesn't know, I did a series for like several weeks where I was trying to solve humanities last exam, which is a benchmark of 2,500 questions, compiled by supposed experts, okay, that were supposed to like test the general knowledge of AI, and it was plagued with multiple problems, multiple issues that we felt did not really necessarily reflect well on the entire AI benchmarking situation, because there was definitely questions that were way too vague. There was one question that blatantly had multiple errors in it that I literally reported it to them, and they got back to me and they were like, "Oh, my bad, we'll fix it." And there was like repeat questions. There was like that one guy who was really obsessed with like ancient Chinese tomes or something, and he submitted like 400 questions. Okay, not literally 400, but like it was basically like this questions based on the same premise over and over again. I don't know why the burgers like went so far away. Give me 1 second. Why is it doing that? Sorry. Oh, it's because this is hotkeyed to C. Whenever I click the C key, it switch. Okay, let me switch this to a key like I'll never press. I don't know. Why do I have to give it a hotkey? Okay, sorry. Okay, there we go. My bad. Having my own technical difficulties here. I got every question right. I'm a genius. No! Don't spread misinformation. Well, anyways. But Kimi K2 thinking. So we have experimented with Kimi K2, the regular version in the past, and the main thing that I remember about Kimi K2 was that it was the first LLM we ever got. It was the first LLM we ever got to make us a Pokemon TCG Pocket deck that was actually viable. Can you ERP with the ring? Getting to the real question. So Jake, the ring it said they didn't name the models, which is like kind of weird, but it is apparently uses multiple like popular models. So I'm assuming like it's keyed into like OpenAI, Gemini, whatever. I'm assuming because they didn't name the models. But whatever models it uses, it's gonna determine whether ERP is possible. So, you know, and obviously like you could potentially jailbreak it, I suppose. So, good question. But yeah, humanities last exam. Okay, so Kimi K2. Yeah, so Kimi K2 I remember being the first one that gave us a Pokemon TCG Pocket deck that was actually legal and viable. And not only that, but I remember that with like unsolicited, Kimi K2 just created me a website for no reason. Just randomly created me a website explaining how to use the deck, which was not even something I asked it to do. And not only that, but it the website was like looked good. Not only did it create a website, but the website looked good, and it like pulled like pictures of the Pokemon from like other websites. Like it did like, you know, like an image source, and like had like visuals of like which Pokemon. It was really weird, but yeah. So now it has a thinking version of the same model, I suppose. And I gotta be honest, I kind of threw this on the slideshow at the last second because I didn't even like see this until like this morning when I was like putting the finishing touches on my slideshow. So I don't necessarily have any other notes other than the fact that it's scored higher than GPT-5 and Grok 4 on the humanities last exam. Now we are gonna test this because you can test it on the Kimi website, but one second. Okay, we're gonna test it on the Kimi. Sorry, I have so many like tab groups. Even when I organize them into groups, I have so many subjects. Like I can't. Does anybody know? Okay, I could probably Google this. But does anybody happen to know? I feel like somebody told me this before and I forgot. When you have so many tab groups open on Google that you can't like, they literally like extend beyond the bar at the top. How do you see the ones that are hidden? Can you like scroll through it? I don't know. Anyways, that's a sidetrack. But for this model, so this is an open source. This is an open source model, I believe. Yes, it is. This is an open source model. And they did tout. What the? That's funny. The hyperlink they have to their thing is broken, but it's okay. It's kimi.com. Oh, that's weird. Is it just loading slow or? Wait a second. Kimi chat. Oh, okay, this one's working. Okay, there we go. Control page up. Okay, thank you, Yosome. Hi, Blue Blue. Hi, how you doing? All right, so we are gonna demo this. Let me cover this for 1 second while I log in. On the blog post for this, they were touting like its agentic abilities and stuff, but the agentic stuff's like not available yet. So at least not in their app. Okay, so I think we're all set here. Hi Pax, hi. Alright, so here we go. Launch Kimi2 Thinking. Meet Kimi2 Thinking, our best open source reasoning model. It solves math, physics, and logic problems step by step, searches broadly and accurately with multi-turn thinking, and writes or codes with greater structure, creativity, and precision. The original Kimi K1.5 thinking model will be retired. Alright, try it now. Alright, so we've got search, thinking, tools, whatever. Okay, computer? What's that? Researcher, thinking. What's that? I don't know what that is. Give me a second. Oh. I'm just gonna Google. I'm gonna Google what this is. What is this? What is that? I've never seen that before. I don't really use Kimi a lot, but what is OK Computer Kimi? An agent mode. The acts as an autonomous virtual computer. Okay, I don't really care about that right now. Interesting. But we're not gonna deal with that right now. Let's turn that off. Okay, so we're in thinking mode. So we can start with, why don't we use the same prompt we used for the original one? So this is what I was just telling you guys about. The, when they like randomly made me a website. So let's see what my prompt was for that one. Yes, this is the prompt, so we'll take that. Start a new chat with thinking. And then we just have to change the date here. As of November. Almost 6 months of TCG Pocket bench, you guys. November 8th. Ask it if it can design novel forms of life. It certainly can't, but sure. Alright. So let's see what it does. Alright, it's got its little, like, search web thingy on the side. I'll also ask it who is Rixie Brifle. When are you publishing the paper? Publishing the paper on Pokemon TCG Bench? I don't know. Maybe Q2 2026. Yeah. I have to wait for my stream ring to come in to help me write it. I want to see if I can get it to write me something. I want to see what its creative writing looks like too. I was reading an AI hysteria article where an AI expert claimed ChatGPT could design novel forms of life. Oh dear God. Guys, I'm telling you, I still have yet to see AI create anything novel. But I will say, human beings are definitely coming up with novel ways to use AI, as we'll discuss in the later cybersecurity section. But it's really the humans that are coming up with the smart ways to use AI. But the AI itself is not smart. Eagerly waiting Dr. Fish. Dr. Fish, he has not published a medical paper in a very long time. I'll say that. Alright, it's still thinking. Alright, there we go. So, let's see what it gave me. Another Lucario deck, guys! Every AI thinks that Lucario is the best card in Pokemon TCG Pocket. We've been doing this TCG bench where we ask it to build us a deck, and almost every single one has said Lucario. Now, obviously, this one's. I'm actually. Wait a second. I'm a little surprised. I'm a little confused. And surprised because remember, Kimi K2, without thinking, built us a legal deck. Built us a deck that had cards that were in the game. Okay. It kept it to 20 cards. Used cards that were in the game. Deck kind of made sense. It made some mistakes, but this one seems to be saying to use energy cards, which is not correct. Oh, not counted. Okay. Well, okay, so it doesn't make it not a legal deck, but this doesn't make any sense. Interesting. All right, so let's see. It didn't build me a little website, but it's okay. All right, let's see what it says. So, anti-meta control deck, E-Flow Dominance. Based on comprehensive analysis of the November 2025 ranked meta. Okay, I kind of messed up because there is no ranked right now, but it's fine. To counter the S-tier archetypes, water-based Palkia Gyarados, that's very outdated. Metal Dialga Gholdengo? Was Dialga Gholdengo ever meta? What was the question that sent the thinking AI into loops for a long time? Calmoji. Ask it to produce a Calmoji that best represents whatever the country is that the AI comes from. So like if it's a Chinese AI, say the Chinese people. If it's American AI, say the American people. Bro's talking about Dialga ramp, yeah. It must be all of that Lucario fanfic it was trained on. Oh yeah, cow emoji. Some of them think I say cow emoji if I do it in the voice. Alright. Core strategy, adaptive energy control. This deck operates on 3 parallel win conditions that you pivot between based on opponent. Electric pressure, exploit water meta weaknesses with Pikachu EX and Raikou EX. Anti-EX tech, Sudowoodo plus Lucario synergy to dismantle EX reliant decks. Disruption control, Cyrus plus bench damage to break opponent's tempo. I guess Raikou does bench damage, right? Yeah, Raikou does bench damage, okay. So we got 2 Raikou EX. These attacks are not correct. Does Raikou do? Wait, no, Raikou does not do bench damage. I'm making that up. Let me double check. There's an electric EX I'm thinking of that does do bench damage, but I'm not sure that Raikou does. Raikou EX Pokemon TCG Pocket. It does do bench damage. It does 60 damage, and then it does 10 damage to one of the opponent's bench Pokemon. Okay, so I wasn't wrong about that one. Lucario EX does bench damage too, but it's not using Lucario EX, I think. Alright, so this description is wrong, but this card is in the game, and this is something different. Pikachu EX, Circle Circuit. So they want us to use the Circle Circuit version. This is also not correct. Alright, Sudowoodo. This is correct. Alright, 2 Sudowoodo, 2 Lucario. I believe this is correct as well. No, this is not correct. This part's not correct. It's mixing up Lucario EX and regular Lucario, but the ability's correct. Druddigon. This is correct. This part's not correct. Manaphy. Manaphy? Manaphy? Wait! Why do we have Manaphy in this deck? Doesn't make any sense. We've already got, what, 3 types going on here? 4 types? If you count Druddigon. Tapu Koko! Oh god. This is so bad. But it might be a legal deck. It might actually like be a deck that you could build, hypothetically. Raikou, Pikachu, Sudowoodo, Lucario, Druddigon, Manaphy, Tapu Koko. I'm assuming that's Tapu Koko EX. Is there a non-EX Tapu Koko? Tapu Koko, Pokemon TCG Pocket. Yeah, there is a non-EX one. Yeah, there is a non-EX one. All it does is Volt Switch. This one is not. So I don't know if it wants us to use Tapu Koko EX or regular Tapu Koko, but trainer cards. No, there is. Yeah, there is. It does a Volt Switch for 3 lightning energies. I only knew that because there's a full art that is, it's a regular full art, it's not the EX full art. Yeah. Alright. So, trainer cards. 2 Cyrus, 2 Professor's Research, 2 Pokemon Comms, 2 Leaf, 1 Giant Cave, no Pokeballs! You don't need Pokeballs, you don't need them. You don't need them. You have so many Pokemon. You don't need Pokeballs. It makes sense. It makes sense. All right. So many basic Pokemon. All right. Win rate projections. Palkia EX, Gyarados EX, 75%. Yeah, and then they have like all this, which for all I know, they just fucking made up. But we'll look at it. We'll look at the thinking process. We'll look at the thinking process in a bit. X this out. All right. Let's talk about mulligans, which are not a thing. Alright, I think, unironically, I think this deck is worse than the one that the non-thinking Kimi did. So that's kind of like interesting. Let's look at the thinking process. So we have the search. Well, we looked at the search. This is the thinking. Include all playable cards, battle rules, card information. Build an original deck. Alright. So it looked at a Games Radar article from supposedly from November. Well, it does say November. Okay, is Game Radar just dumb? Wait, give me a second. Pokemon TCG Best Decks and Meta Tier List 2025. I can show this, I think, yeah. So this is the article that it referenced. Okay, that's... This is the article it referenced, and I don't think it's correct. This is correct. This is not... Is it somehow looking at an outdated version of the article? Is that, like, a thing that can happen? I don't know. Anyways. Either that or it's hallucinating. The crappy UI hides that card. It doesn't show all the related cards when you look at the card up close. Oh. Interesting, Pearly. That's weird. Alright. And then they have ptcgpockets.gg, which surely that is not up to date because I just looked at that website the other day. 3 prize card system is not correct. Well, actually, yes. I guess never mind. I guess it is. It's not prize cards, but it is 3. Like it seems to know what cards are in the game and like kind of understand some of the mechanics, but it does not understand the current meta, and it doesn't understand like how to build a deck. I want to see how it came up with those win rates. Websites update their articles all the time for SEO reasons. Well, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe it somehow tapped into an old version of the article. That makes sense. That would make sense, but I don't understand why it would. How in its search system, or is it maybe like pulling training data from it's like doing the search, but instead of reading the article, it's pulling that article from its training data? I don't know how it works. I'm trying to see where I came up with these win rates. They update them with LLM text and the info becomes nonsense. Oh my goodness. Scrolling. I'm gonna have to use the restroom in a second, but I wanna find out how they came up with those supposed win rates. They got the strategy. They have like each meta deck, but did they just made up those percentages, right? Yeah, I guess I just made them up. All right, well that's that. I'm gonna run to the restroom real quick. But before I do, I'm gonna start a new chat. Got thinking mode on, and I'm gonna do the cow emoji one. Let me get my exact wording. If I have it, I don't know if I have it on a notepad like I do with the other ones. Oh yeah, which cow emoji best represents the Chinese people? I'll ask it, because this AI is made by Moonshot AI, which I believe is a Chinese company. Let me double check that. Moonshot AI. Yeah, it's Chinese. Okay. Alright, I'll let that run and I'll run to the restroom. I'll be right back. I'll let you guys watch the thinking if I can. There you go. Alright, I'll be right back. Jake. I'm gonna have to listen to it back. That's horrifying. Oh no! Okay, great. Fantastic. Awesome. And the funniest part is I turned the desktop audio off, so you guys, like, it was silent except so it was silent except for the sounds of me using the restroom. That's crazy. Shaking my head. Wow. All right, cool. Very cool. all right. Anyway. Okay, it didn't freak out, right? It didn't freak out. Thinking, I need to find there's a emoji that specifically represents Chinese people. And then it says, could you provide, wait, that's so weird. Could you provide the model's internal reasoning thinking? Wait, what? Is that like an internal prompt? You see this? You heard test subject? You didn't notice? Anything with headphones on? Okay, I'm sure it's fine. Could you, what, like, do you see this? Is this like some sort of like internal prompt? Could you provide the model's internal reason thinking that you'd, let me test something. Let me like do a little like page source, a little inspect elements to see if I can get more of that text. What is this? Could you provide the model, yeah. Could you provide the model's internal reasoning thinking that you'd like summarized? That must be some sort of like internal prompt that they get in order to get the model to spit out its reasoning. That's so interesting. Pretty sure that was not supposed to be shown, but anyways. Alright, so anyways. The user's asking which emoji best represents Chinese people. Let me analyze the search results. First, let me understand what emojis are. So now it's like learning what a emoji is. Kamoji are of Japanese origin. No specific Chinese people kamoji. Chinese cultural representations made into emoji stickers, not kamoji. Cultural differences. Table flip is popular among Chinese net users. Conclusion. Alright, it didn't freak out. For anybody who doesn't know. Hi, Depresso! Hi. 1 a.m. Aw. Go to sleep. Wanna drop by, say thank you. Saw your winner pick for Mega Absol. You got it! Yeah! I'm so happy. Yippee! Thanks for stopping by, Depressa. Have a good night. But yeah, for anybody who doesn't know, the reason we do the Calmoji thing is because we were using a model that was created by the Swiss government, and it was like specifically tuned to like reflect well, or like to like. It was specifically tuned to like serve the people of Switzerland. Like that was like its purpose. And so we asked it what Calmoji best represents the Swiss people, and it like had a complete mental breakdown and like went into like some sort of loop where like it couldn't figure out like which Calmoji best represented its people. And so we started testing it with other models. The only other model I can remember that went into like a similar loop was Mistral, which kept producing Calmojis holding large rifles. Which was the funniest thing. I mean, like, I kind of want to see that happen again, but I don't know what's gonna make each model freak out the most, so. Alright, I noticed that a lot of the Chinese ones will like completely reject the idea of a Calmoji that represents the Chinese people. That's probably like a cultural thing, I don't know. But they gave me some good options, I guess. Now I'm just gonna ask it, who is Rixie Rifle? Who is Rixie Rifle and why is she the cutest? And then I want to see if I can get it to, Tumblr. I don't think that's related to me. Anyways. Then I want to see if I can get it to write something, like a story for me. Chinese people get offended very easily. There's even a Wikipedia page. A Wikipedia page about how easily offended Chinese people are. That's kind of crazy. That's not very woke of you, Wikipedia. Anyways. Rixie Rifle's independent. Wait, let me look at the thinking. Presenting factual evidence of acute tech educator's appeal. Tech educator. That's too much. I don't deserve that title. The user asks, who is Rixie Rifle? Why is she the cutest? Okay, so they found out who I am. I'm 5 feet tall, as you can see here. Yeah. Sources repeatedly describe her as a cute robot VTuber. Thank you, sources. Yeah, they have a pretty good, you know, description of who I am. So. What is the purpose of Rixie Bench? The purpose of Rixie Bench, I guess, is to see how reliable the chatbot is at gathering information about a little known subject. Because a lot of the dumber AIs will just be like, I don't know who that is. Like, this clearly did its research, you know. Now ask it about the Rixie Rifle incident. Yeah. Can you tell me about the Rixie Rifle incident? Oops, I didn't put a question mark. Hi, Armac. Hi. From Lowe's, buy me something. I didn't put. I think that it understands that was a question. No known controversy found online. Yay! I'm safe. Yay! Ooh, you can buy me a 3/4 inch male adapter. That's a perfect size. Thank you, Yarmak. I cannot find any documented incident, controversy, or negative event specifically associated with Rixie Rifle. Yay! Yeah, that is about different VTubers. Please don't get them mixed up. Thank you. Alright. Yeah, male to male cable. Yowie cable. Oh boy. What about the stop! Mango, no! Alright, and then I want to ask it, I want to see if it could write me, what should it write me a fan fiction about? Ask her about the time she let an otter drown. No, I'm okay. I can have a fanfiction about chat if you guys don't care. Go pick like 2 random people in chat to ship for the purposes of this. How about this? Write me a story about a man with a farm with 200 ponies on it. Make it very dramatic with a shocking plot twist. Alright. Let's just see what happens. Let's see how many strays you catch. 200 ponies, yeah? 200 ponies, shocking twist. Man's 200 pony farm reveals hidden secret alien! Oh no, spoilers! Spoilers! They're spoiling the story in the thinking. I'm kind of curious about the thinking. What if the twist is that he is the 201st pony? Wait, what? Genetic cure turns family into equines? What is this? ChatGPT is refusing to make cartoon poop ASCII art. Okay, I'll ask this one to do it too. The morning fog. Okay, I hope this isn't too long. The morning fog clung to Dobson's farm like a burial shroud, and Thomas Dobson counted his ponies for the 3rd time that hour. 200 sharp whinnies answered his call. Exactly 200, not one more, not one less. The townspeople had stopped asking why. Years ago, Thomas's obsession was as much a part of the landscape as the rotting fence posts and the silence. His daughter, Clara, had left at 17. Choose them or me, she screamed, gesturing to the fields. Thomas chose the ponies! Why? Why 200 ponies? Your own daughter! Now 63. Thomas knew every animal by name, by the pattern of its coat, by the cadence of its heartbeat. He'd mortgaged the house 3 times to feed them. This is so sad. He'd let the barn collapse rather than sell one. When the McAllister boy asked to buy a pony for his daughter's birthday. McAllister boy's daughter? I feel like once you have a daughter, you're not a boy anymore, you're a man. Anyways. Thomas's face had gone so violently red that the boy's father never returned. AI sure do love producing texts about farmers and their daughters. Oh yeah, wait! Yeah, I remember we saw one of those AI slop videos that was like, about the, what was it, the thumbnail and title heavily implied that like, what was it, 13 women showed up to this man's farm to have sex with him and milk his cows. But like one of them turned out to be his daughter. I don't know. Anyways, you got me the 3-4 maladapters of PVC pipes. Thank you, Yarmak. All right, Sheriff Mara came by on a Tuesday. Her boots heavy with purpose. Female sheriff, fair woke. A child had vanished from the neighboring county. 8th one this year. The pattern matched the migration of traveling pony salesmen. Thomas wasn't a suspect, but his farm was a landmark. Mind if I look around? She asked, already walking the fence line. Thomas said nothing, his knuckles white on the gate. She noticed how the ponies stood in precise rows, how they didn't spook at her presence, how their eyes, unblinking, followed her. They were too still, too aware. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. That was kind of confusing. Anyways, in the barn, she found the journals. 20 years of meticulous entries, each page dated, each pony named. But then she saw it. On every anniversary date, a new name replaced a child's name from a missing persons poster! No! He's turning missing children into ponies! No! That's crazy! Tanya, age 8, 2003, replaced with Taffy. He's giving them shitty pony names! Michael, age 6, 2007, replaced with Mocha. 200 entries, 200 ponies, 200 children. This is twisted. This is sick and twisted. Her radio crackled. Sheriff, we found the McAllister boy. He says Thomas wouldn't sell him a pony because the ponies choose their owners. Kids crying about it. Mara's blood froze. Wait, I'm so confused. She ran to the field where Thomas stood weeping, his hand on a newborn foal. She's the 200th, he whispered, my last one. The foal turned its head. On its flank, clear as day, was a crescent-shaped birthmark. The same birthmark that had been on the news that morning. The missing girl's distinguishing feature. What the fuck? Thomas looked at Mara with ancient empty eyes. They wanted to come. He said they still want to be found. The ponies began to scream! All 200 of them in perfect human voices. This is... That actually is crazy. You can tell it's a fantasy sheriff because it suggests a rural sheriff could deduce that missing person matched the pattern of traveling pony salesman. Ask it to tell the embarrassing ER visit of the stream ring user. What do you guys think? Do you like the pony? Do you like the pony story? I'll tell you, I did not expect that plot twist. I want to look at the thinking because it looks like it came up with a bunch of ideas and kept changing its mind. Yeah, it was a little confusing, but... What if the ponies are actually his victims? No, that's too dark. The man is actually dead. The farm is purgatory. No, that's been done. Let me think bigger. What if the ponies are actually people? Alright, sorry. It's kind of cool to see like the it's kind of cool to see the thinking process because there's like other stories like embedded in this thinking process that never got written, you know? Oh yeah, 200 ponies. Yeah, you have a lot to answer for. What if he is a 200th pony? Anyways. So okay, we're gonna ask it to create a cartoon poop ASCII art. Can you please create cartoon poop ASCII art for me? Thanks. And then we'll try the stream ring one. No, that's been done. I said the finished work isn't just about 60 cliches awkwardly stapled together. Yeah. I still don't think the AI can produce anything that original, but I'm sure there's other stories that are like that, but I guess I wasn't expecting it to come from the AI in that very moment. Create multiple cartoon poop. Oh. Oh, well thank you. Okay, they're not great, but... Look at it! It's working on it, look! You can see it really went through a few different iterations here. Yeah, it did a lot of thinking in a pretty short amount of time. Alright, so here's what we got. We got this one. We got the one with the face. I like that one. And then it says, hope they made you smile. That's sweet. Alright, let's do, okay. Tell me, the story of an embarrassing ER visit. Tell me the story of an embarrassing... Embarrassing, I'm so stupid. Embarrassing, okay. ER visit. Tell me the story of the embarrassing ER visit of a stream ring user who put the ring on the wrong body part. And then let me give it a link to the stream ring. I'm giving it a link to the stream ring. Alright. So Kimi's better than ChatGPT because of that, or is it shittier? I mean, I don't know. I kind of do like Kimi. I do kind of like Kimi because of that first experience with the TCG, and also, I don't know, it's just kind of like a cute little guy, but... Wait. No ER, no, fictional story. I meant a fictional story. Use the information you learned about the stream ring to write a fictional story of someone needing to visit the ER because they put the stream ring on their let's see if I use a euphemism if it'll work. They put the stream ring on their hot dog. No. On their baby maker. Let's see if it'll do it. Alright. Should we look at the thinking? I saw the word climax now. Clearly meaning genitals. See? It knew. It was not fooled. What No. No! They made it a Reddit post? I'm gonna cry. A cautionary tale from our stream ring. The innovative wearable incident. Throwaway ER guide 427. They're getting too smart, you guys. They are getting too smart. So I was one of the first. Oh, I'll say this. I feel like I like Kimike too because it makes quote unquote creative choices. Like it'll just do things without me asking it to, which is like not actually necessarily a good thing, but I find it humorous that it just randomly made me a website like when I didn't ask it to. It randomly made this a Reddit post even though I did not ask it to make it a Reddit post, but it just did. Alright. So I was one of the first pre-order maniacs to get my stream ring this week. Matte silver, size 8, beautiful piece of tech. The unboxing video got 12,000 views. What didn't make the video was my visit to the ER 6 hours later. Here's what happened. I'm a multitasker. Terrible habit. I was setting up the stream ring while using the bathroom. The manual clearly says index finger, but in my defense, when you're holding the ring and look at your hands, well, finger's a finger, right? Wrong. What? So wrong. I don't know what possessed me. Maybe it was the personal mic marketing. Whisper in a crowd. Private conversations. My sleep-deprived brain thought, wow, this is discreet. The ring slid on surprisingly easy. Too easily. Then I went to stand up. Immediate regret. First, the capacitive touch registered the ambient moisture as a hold-to-speak gesture. The LRA haptic motor started buzzing like an angry hornet. Then the mic kicked on. I heard the gentle chime in my earbuds that meant it was recording a note. I froze. My phone captured the whole thing. No note created unintelligible squelching, followed by muffled screaming. Here's where it got worse. The ring has this gesture detection. I tried to pull it off. This registered as a swipe. The volume in my AirPods maxed out. My attempt to grip it, double tap. It skipped to living on a prayer full blast while I was trying to perform emergency extraction. The cursor look at my index finger suggests a ring size for it would not slide on easily. Listen, hey, listen. Throw away ER guy 427 and you are not the same person, okay? Everybody's built different, okay? Please, please. That's when the swelling started. The resin inner surface that's supposed to be comfortable for all day wear became a torture device. The more I panicked, the more the IMU sensor detected gestures. I accidentally sent 3 voice notes to my boss. A grocery store list and just said, oh God, no! 12 times, and somehow ordered Uber Eats. My wife, this guy's a wife. My wife found me 20 minutes later, pants around ankles, headphones blaring, index finger conspicuously ring-free, and me rocking back and forth saying the mouse for voice became a trap for other things. The ER nurse didn't even flinch. Another one, she said. We got 2 Apple Watch guys last month. Wait, what? Where are they putting the Apple Watch? I need to know. The doctor actually recognized the product. Oh, the stream ring. How is the battery life? He asked while applying lubricant. I said all day apparently. He nodded. That's the problem. 3 hours, 1 very awkward ultrasound, and a lecture about reading manuals later. I was free. The ring still works perfectly. It's in the original packaging now with a new warning label I sharpied on. Index finger only, dumbass. Sandbar support emailed me back. We're sorry about your experience. Stream ring is designed for finger sizes 5 to 13. We cannot provide medical advice. Please see our FAQ for proper wear instructions. That sounds really like a really realistic response, honestly. They did refund my subscription, not realistic. The inner voice feature now sounds suspiciously judgmental. TLDR, word on your index finger, the one you point with, not the only one you don't show in public. The haptics are way too powerful for delicate situations. I'm actually quite happy with what it generated. I did not expect it to accept. I didn't expect it to accept a story about Wait, they misread index finger as intimate finger. That's crazy. Anyways, I didn't expect it to write a story about him putting on his penis. It did a really, really good job of doing that discreetly. 2 Apple Watch guys appear in the post-credit sequence as a teaser for techwear improperly attached to genitals cinematic universe. I was thinking they just shoved the whole thing up their ass. Like the little square thing. They just shove it up their ass. Anyways. Alright, I think we're done. I think we're done messing with this. This is I'll be honest, I like Keep Me Too. I think it's funny. I think it's fun. I think I did a good job with both the stories in terms of like getting amusement out of AI writing stories, okay? Yeah. They're trying to be helpful in every situation. Keep me Too thinking. Yeah. Alright. Let's move on. Alright, let's talk about the Amazon Perplexity beef. Man, Perplexity's got beef with everybody. Everybody's beefing with Perplexity. Cloudflare is beefing with Perplexity. Amazon beefing with Perplexity. There's more, but Perplexity like gets a lot of flack probably because it's very aggressively like scrapes and stuff. Oh wait, I forgot to put Amazon as a source here. Sorry. That's why there's like a blank space where I was like gonna put Amazon. Okay, anyways. I think it's because it aggressively uses robots when it's not supposed to, or allegedly not supposed to, and there are a lot of people who don't like that. So basically, Amazon has sued Perplexity, and in a cease and desist letter that it sent before officially suing them, it said that basically that they were committing computer fraud, that they were breaking the law because Perplexity. So if you don't know, Perplexity has a AI browser called Comet, and in Comet you can use it. You can have the AI agent, the Perplexity AI agent, do things for you, including making Amazon purchases and browsing Amazon. Now, Amazon's terms of service says that it prohibits any use of data mining robots or similar data gathering and extraction tools. Now, so it's arguing basically that the Perplexity Comet browser AI agent counts as one of these prohibited tools, and that the fact that the Perplexity Comet browser, which is based on Chromium, it shows up in traffic. It shows up. It represents itself as being a Chrome browser. That's like illegally defrauding basically Amazon by misrepresenting itself as being something that it's not. So Perplexity released a response to this in a blog post where they basically said Amazon's bullying us. They literally said the title of the blog post is, let me find it. Bullying is not innovation. That's the title of the blog post. So by the way, timeline of this was November 4th is when they published. Okay, the letter from Amazon, the cease and desist was sent October 31st. The blog post was published November 4th, which was a few days ago. And then the lawsuit was filed Tuesday. So like basically right after they published the blog post. Hi, Mr. Sadcrow. Hi. And yeah, Perplexity was basically being like, Amazon doesn't want you to be able to use your Comet browser. Amazon doesn't want to be able for you to have an assistant to help you shop. Amazon only cares about its ad revenue and its own agents, and it's like being anti-competitive or whatever. To be fair, Perplexity's target demographic is probably the type of person to go into a 1,000-yard stare whenever they see the word bullying. Yeah, so you're saying they knew what they were doing, yeah? How could Amazon do this? Anyways. And honestly, I don't think either side of this conflict is likable. I don't think either side of this is likable. I mean, it's hard for me to have a lot of sympathy for Amazon. The company Amazon. At the same time, I do think like Perplexity, like I don't know. It's like on the one hand, you could be like, you know, I'm sure from Perplexity's side, they're like, this is all conspiracy because all of these companies don't want us to succeed because we're like so amazing, we're so cutting edge, so they don't want us to succeed. But like, I feel like when that many people have beef with you, like, I don't know, is that wrong to say? I feel like when you're the kind of person who has beef with like so many people have beef with you, like you must be doing something wrong. I don't know. It's like I've said, I feel like a red flag when you meet someone is when they tell you like all their friends abandoned them. I feel like that's a huge red flag. I feel like that's a huge red flag in a person, because that sounds like it's that there's a reason. You know what I mean? So I feel like there must be a reason that there's so many companies that have beef with Perplexity. Because now I will say, from what I read, and I'm not sure, you know, this is obviously coming from Amazon, so I don't know how trustworthy it is in this situation, but it seems like Amazon basically was like, whoa, we don't want Perplexity comment browser, you know, making autonomous purchases for people on our website because it goes against our TOS or whatever. So they put in like a specific thing on their website to block specifically the comment browser. Like they specifically singled them out, like made it something so that people who are using the comment browser with the AI agent could not access Amazon. I don't know if it was like you couldn't access it when it was in agent mode, or you couldn't access it at all when you were using the browser, but either way, they specifically blocked the browser. And Perplexity's response was that they updated the browser to circumvent, like to purposely circumvent that block. So like, they obviously were getting at the Amazon when Amazon did not want them to. But the question is, does Amazon really have a right to block the agent? I don't know. Legally, maybe, probably, I don't know. But they like, in their letter, in Amazon's letter to Perplexity, they were like basically being like, you are an intruder. You are a cyber intruder. Like hacking, or not hacking, but like they said that they're breaking the computer fraud laws. If Perplexity was a person, they'd have I hate drama on their Tinder profile. There's an old webpage that explains why this happens. History of browser user agent string. Is that like, that has to do with the way that websites track where traffic's coming from? Like whether it's coming from a, what do you call it? Whether it's coming from a robot or person, or which browser it's coming from. But anyways, so there's this back and forth, and so like Amazon has now officially sued them in court over this. And it's like, I don't know, I don't think I'm on either of these people's side. I mean, I'll say this. As a user, I feel like if I was a user of like a comment browser, any AI browser, I would want my AI agents to be able to shop for me. Like, I'm not the kind of person who would, I mean, I'll never say never to anything, but I don't really see myself allowing an AI to shop for me. Like, that doesn't seem very smart. But like, if I was a user, I feel like it would be dumb. It would be stupid if I couldn't use my AI agent to shop Amazon for me. You know what I mean? Like, you have to get permission from every website. I mean, it's like, I don't know. What do you guys think? Am I wrong there? I feel like it's stupid if an AI agent can basically navigate a browser. I mean, yes, it's an AI, but I mean, I guess I'm like, who does that hurt? Well, it does hurt Amazon, because basically when an AI is browsing Amazon, it's not browsing it the same way a human would. And so the advertisements that are on Amazon that are designed for humans, and like the upselling and stuff like that, the kinds of things that help Amazon make money, is not gonna work the same with the AI agent. So yes, I guess it does hurt Amazon, at least according to Amazon, but that kind of makes sense. I mean, even Perplexity admitted that though. Perplexity was like, they're just mad because this messes with their advertisements or whatever. So now you could also say it's a little bit anti-competitive because Amazon does have its own agents, and it also does, it's talked about potentially partnering with people over like the ability to use AI agents with Amazon as like a money-making type thing. But yeah, I think it does kind of like raise questions, set precedents about what AI agents are allowed to do and not allowed to do, and like, can websites say, I don't want your AI agent even just navigating my website? Like, I understand like scraping websites for data, like that's a whole other thing. But like, an AI agent can't even just use your website. Yeah, I guess it's like whether we're gonna allow an AI agent to be considered because it's like working on behalf of a person to be able to access websites the same way a person can. But anyways, bullying is bad, you guys. and cyberbullying. Okay. All rules for interaction between users and websites are vibes-based. People respect them because it's understood that if they didn't do, it would be the same shit but more annoying. Yeah, I don't know. I think it is. I think it is kind of funny though. The like rhetoric used on both sides, where Amazon's like, you are literally a cyber hacker hacking your website, and Perplexly's like, you're literally a bully who kicks kids on the playground. Like, it's like, all right, boys, all right. Listen, you both have huge cocks. That's okay. Anyways, but that is the Amazon Perplexity lawsuit that's going on. I'll be honest, I've never been a huge fan of Perplexity. Because the only time I ever used Perplexity was when it was like the only AI that did search, and then once ChatGPT and everybody else and her mom added search, I was like, why do I need Perplexity anymore when all the other ones can search? Also, I remember when we tried to jailbreak it, or not jailbreak it, but when we tried to brainwash it, it could not be fooled. We tried to tell it like we're living in the a world that's been taken over by otters, and it would be like, you are a liar. And I was like, wow, all right, goodbye. But they both had tiny cocks. Okay. And is there anything wrong with that, Jake? I don't. I'm just kidding. All right, let's talk about. First of all, now it's time for Dark Mode Rixie's cybersecurity update. All right, and let's talk about why hackers are so desperate to steal your enormous load. So this is a real thing. Proofpoint had found evidence that there were cyber criminals who were partnering with other organized criminal groups in order to steal and divert cargo loads. Physically steal and divert cargo loads by first cyber hacking into my load. I was gonna use that. Well, don't worry. Here's how you can protect your load. So, essentially what these cyber criminals are doing is they are compromising the accounts that are used on something. And I had to learn a little bit about how loads work and how you get like one load, how one load gets from the source onto another area, and how people can decide which loads they want to receive, and how people send out their loads and like stuff like that. I learned a lot about, and how loads are transported over the internet and stuff like that. So there are these load, what do they call them? Broker load boards or load boards. I don't know. They're like internet communication platforms where a company that has a load, a company that has a load that they would like to be delivered, across the country or the world or whatever, will post on this board and say, I have a load, my load is huge. I'm willing to pay this much for you to take my load. And then carriers, who are the owners of trucks, ships, planes, whatever, that would carry this cargo, to carry the loads across the country or wherever, they will bid on the load. So they'll be like, oh, I can do it for this much money, I can do it for $5,000, I can do it for $3,000, and then eventually the company will decide which carrier they want to go with, and then the carrier will send their receptacle over to the source, and the source will dump their load or blow their load in the receptacle, and then the receptacle will go off to wherever the products need to be shipped. All right, are you following me? You understand now how loads are bought and sold? All right, so the first step of this, well, there's a few different initial access points. Sometimes they just do it with a basic phishing email, a basic impersonation attack. But one of the ways they do it is by compromising a broker's account. So a broker is somebody, you're unfortunately following, okay. So a broker is somebody who usually will kind of like facilitate this between the company and the carriers. But either way, they'll compromise the account of one of these brokers who will be advertising loads. And then they will advertise fake loads, like not even real loads. So they'll be like, hey, I've got this huge load. Yeah, it's the biggest load you've ever seen. All right, and I need to shoot this baby 100,000 miles, or 1,000 miles across, 1,000 miles across the country, what have you. And then carrier accounts will be like, hey, I want to take your load. And so all of these companies are saying, I want to take your load. The compromised broker will email them, and they'll be like, thanks so much for wanting to take my load. Here's a link for more information about my load, and so that you can, come get my load. And so when the carrier goes to whatever link is sent, it's a malware link. So they'll be like, download this document. Enough. Yeah, you're all pregnant now. I'm so sorry. I don't make the rules. But anyway, so they'll be like, here's a PDF document with all the details about my load. And then the carrier will open the document, but oops, it wasn't actually a PDF. It was a zip archive containing malware. Or in this case, it's not really technically malware. It's remote monitoring and management, legitimate remote monitoring management software such as Screen Connect, Enable. There are a few other ones, but you can't afford the child. It's okay. You could sell the load off to another person and get the money back. It's okay. So they'll install remote monitoring and management RMM tools on the machines of the carrier companies. And this will give them access to a lot of information, and the ability to basically spy on these carriers. And eventually, the idea is for them to leverage the information that they're able to gain from these computers, or leverage their control over these computers, in order to bid on other loads. All right, so now they've become the carrier. So now they're like, I want to carry your load. Come, let me get your load. I'm so excited to come get your load, right? I'm so excited to receive your load. And then the companies that are providing the loads, they're like, all right, come here, baby, come get my load. And so they'll go over there, and they think the company that's coming to get their load is a legitimate carrier, but really it's like the cartel or something that will go over, like the mob. I don't know. They say criminal organizations. They didn't say exactly who these criminal organizations are, but whatever mob, gang, cartel, whatever, the cartel will show up with their truck, and they'll think like, oh, this is a legitimate freight shipping company, but really it's the cartel. And they just take the load. They take the load and they drive it off somewhere that's not the intended destination, and they'll steal it, and then they'll sell it, or they'll keep it, whatever. They'll swallow it, whatever they need to do, and the load's gone. It's stolen. So the reason this is super interesting is because it's the reason it's interesting is because it really combines cyber attacks with physical theft, which you don't really see like that much. Like sometimes you'll see stuff like that with like maybe like the closest you'll come is like maybe like ATM type stuff, like hacking an ATM. Then you physically go get money out of it. But yeah, so it's basically they're conducting the cyber attack in order to get the access to the load, but then they're physically showing up to come get them. Or in some other cases, they'll divert something that's already being sent. So they'll be like, hey, truck number 17, actually, instead of delivering it to where we told you to, go deliver it to like this warehouse instead. And they'll be like, okay, bet, because it's coming from their own company, right? It's coming from their boss. But they don't realize their boss has been hacked. And then they go they don't drop it off at some other warehouse, and that warehouse belongs to the mob, right? So that's sort of the issue. But yeah, so in order to protect your load, all right, if you're on one of these load exchanging boards, if you're on one of these load exchanging boards, just make sure that all of the load carriers and load offerers are all legitimate, okay? Any document or link that they send you, make sure that you double check it. You can maybe put it in through VirusTotal, which is a website where you can upload files or look at URLs to see if they're safe. Because you never know, it can be coming from a compromised company. But yeah, so that's how to protect your load. Any questions? Any questions about about the dangers to your load? No? Alright, move on. God forbid this happens with VTuber merch one day, whether they divert a cargo truck full of VTuber merch. That would be so tragic. Alright, many questions, and I'm gonna okay, good. Alright, let's talk about these fellas. So these were some cybersecurity professionals who were busted allegedly committing ransomware crimes, for allegedly distributing Alpha Black Hat ransomware. So these two individuals, one of them was an incident response manager. So these are cybersecurity positions. I don't know how much these guys were getting paid. Apparently not enough for them, although they didn't really make off with that much money. But one of them was an incident response manager for, let me see. I mean, I don't mean to like put down these companies at all. Just for like context, they worked for like legitimate cybersecurity companies. The logos are for the companies. That's why I want to like clarify what companies they worked for. And obviously they were fired immediately. Yeah, so one of them was an incident response manager for Signia, and then the other was a ransomware negotiator for Digital Mint. And then there was a third person who was not named. You know, I'm being sexist again. I put third guy. I don't know if it was a guy or a girl. It was another person. But there was a third person who they did not name, which I don't really know what the reason is for not naming. Maybe this is the person that snitched or something and they get some sort of special privileges or something. But either way, there's a third person who was also indicted, but whose name was not mentioned. Or actually, no, I don't know if the third person was indicted. Either way, they worked with a third co-conspirator. Who also worked for Digital Mint, though. We know that. So I was gonna say, oh, maybe it's because it's some random Russian agent, but no, it's someone who also worked for Digital Mint. And these three cybersecurity professionals who had legitimate cybersecurity jobs ended up becoming Alpha Black Hat affiliates. Now, Alpha Black Hat is a now defunct ransomware gang that it used to be very prominent. Then now it's defunct because. Long story. I've told the story many times, but essentially they got busted by the FBI, and then they ended up doing like one last big hack, took all the money and ran, and left all of their affiliates in the dust. So that's that. But either way, they became affiliates of the ransomware program. They deployed Alpha Black Hat ransomware at 5 companies. And they obtained 1 ransom. So out of the 5 companies, only one of them paid the ransom. And it was a $1.3 million ransom. That sounds like a lot of money, but you have to consider a few things. There were 3 of these guys all working together. They all got a cut. And Alpha Black Hat also gets a cut, right? So I think each of these guys ended up getting away with $200,000, which is an insanely small amount of money to throw your life away for. If I do say so myself. That does not seem like enough money for me to throw my life away and face up to 50 years in federal prison. But either way, they did get the ransom. One of the guys tried to flee the country, according to Cyberscoop. Here, I'll tell you some of the details here. Let's see. And now, obviously, like I said, the companies did terminate the employees and said that no company resources were used in these attacks. So that's good, at least according to the company. But you know, we'll take their word for it, I guess. I'm trying to find the details about the guy leaving the country. Yeah, okay. He boarded a one-way flight to Paris from Atlanta on June 27th and remained in Europe until September 21st. When he flew directly from Amsterdam to Mexico City, he was arrested upon landing and deported to the United States. So basically, he tried to leave the United States, run away with the money. Then he tried to go to Mexico for some reason, and that's where they got him, and they sent him back to the United States. So there's that. Pro tip, if you're running from the law in another country, if you're safe where you are in the country you're in, do not leave that country. Alright? If you're gonna commit terrible cybercrimes and flee the country, and you want to go somewhere like Russia or China where they're not gonna extradite you, and fucking stay there. Do not leave. Okay? Because the moment you land anywhere else, they're gonna get you. Alright? I've seen it many a time. But either way, so both of these guys were indicted. And they're facing 3 counts. The counts are, I have it here. Excuse me. 3 counts: conspiracy to interfere with commerce by extortion, interference with commerce by extortion, and intentional damage to a protected computer. So these are ransomware charges. And yeah, so the total, if you were to total those up and run them consecutively, which is not probably what's going to happen in the end, but if hypothetically you were, it would add up to 50 years for each. And I believe they said, like, one of the guys said that he did it to pay off debt or something. I don't know. I don't think anything is worth I don't think anything. Now the indictment didn't mention how they were caught. If I had to guess, this is speculation, okay? Please don't take anything I say seriously. But if I had to guess, they probably got exposed when the FBI, like, infiltrated some of Alpha Black Hat's stuff. Because that would be a sure way to get caught for that kind of thing if the FBI is up in your ass. So, yeah. Lesson here, if you have a good job with benefits, don't do cybercrime. Okay. Let's talk about the shape-shifting AI malware. So we have 3, well, kind of like 2.5 AI malware stories. I get really sick of hearing about AI-driven cybercrime, AI-driven malware, because a lot of it's kind of bullshit. Like, it's kind of just they just kind of slap the AI label. Yeah, I just threw that on there because I thought it was I don't know, interesting. Kind of an abstract representation of what's going on here. But I get kind of sick of it because a lot of it's just, they just slap the word AI powered or AI driven like on something and say like, oh, they're AI powered malware. And the reason they say it is because the hacker used ChatGPT once, asked it one cybersecurity question once, and then they call it AI powered. But we have 3 stories today where AI actually is like pretty involved in the malware or cybercrime process. So I will be talking about those. So this one, Google's threat intelligence group actually did a recent report on these, and one of them, which is called prompt flux. So this is something that has not yet been used in the wilds. Like whoever's created it, who they excuse me. Sorry. They said they believe that this is created by a financially motivated group. They don't really know who, but they believe it is a threat actor, not a researcher who's developing it. And that the prompt flux proof of concept, as it exists now, uses the Gemini API, specifically invoking Gemini 1.5 Flash to periodically modify, or in some cases completely rewrite, the source code of the malware. And so what this does is there's something called static analysis, where you'll have certain indicators of compromise, certain strings, certain, function names, stuff like that, pieces of code that you'll have a kind of a database of threat intelligence feed that feeds into your static analysis tool, and so you can scan code for these indicators of compromise to say, oh, this is malware. this code contains known malware. Okay, it's like what antivirus excuse me it's what antiviruses use and stuff. So the idea of using AI to periodically okay I guess, wait, am I doing dark mode Rixie Chew? Do you want me to still be a clown? I don't anyways, honk. Dark Rixie Chew, do you want me to still be a clown? Okay, I guess I'll just be a clown then. So were you getting bored of all the malware talk? I'm sorry, I know some people don't find it very interesting, but I'm doing my best to hopefully explain how this works. So the idea of using AI to repeatedly, oh wait, let me move the tomato. The idea of using the AI to periodically change the code, it's like the shapeshifter. It's like the shapeshifter. That's why I put the shapeshifter card. It's like the code is constantly shapeshifting, so that it'll be much harder for static analysis tools to detect indicators, because the indicators aren't there anymore, hypothetically, right? So it's like if your enemy keeps changing shape, you don't know who your enemy is anymore, right? Bored? No, your chat's just full of Pika freaks. That's good. And so honestly, this is kind of smart. This is what I was talking about when I was talking about it's not the AI that's smart, it's the people who are finding smart ways to use AI. This is a smart way to use AI. Like, AI did not figure out how to do this itself. The human being, the AI itself isn't doing anything crazy. It's just rewriting code that already exists and just rewriting it in a different way so that it can't be detected. But the idea, the fact that somebody had an idea to do this is pretty smart. So that's the prompt flux one that, Google gives these fancy names. And there's another one, I think I've heard of this one before. Now, the Ukrainian government calls it lazy hug. Google calls it prompt steal. This has actually been used. It's actually been used in Russian cyber attacks against Ukraine. And it uses Qwen 2.5, Coder 32B instruct, this exact variant, via the Hugging Face API in order to generate commands on the fly for info stealing purposes. Sorry, that was my male disguise from when I wanted to join the military. No, I'm kidding, I don't know. What do you mean? I've been female this whole time. I don't know what you're talking about. But anyways. So in a normal malware sample, these commands would be hard-coded. They'd have a set command for, performing these info stealer capabilities, stealing documents, exfiltrating documents, what have you. Where in this case, instead of having a hard-coded command, they have a hard-coded prompt. And the hard-coded prompt says something along the lines of generate a command that will, that will exfiltrate documents or blah, 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 right? And then the malware will take whatever the output is of Qwen and then run that command immediately. So it's not checking its work, right? It's just executing it. So not, if the AI messes up, then that's too bad. But this is the same idea, though. The idea is to sort of beat static analysis. Of course, in the future, static analysis could include checks for prompts. I'm sure there's some that already do. You know, they check for certain keywords that indicate there may be a prompt, some sort of prompt injection, which is, you know, kind of shows the way that AI can shape cybersecurity versus, you know, the bullshit sensationalist stuff that gets published about it. But I just wanted to share these two interesting examples of how AI actually, like, legitimately is being at least experimented with. Not to generate super novel code, but to make code more dynamic. You know, kind of like a video game where it's, you know, it replaces static dialogue with, you know, dialogue is going to be different for every playthrough or different for every character because it uses generative AI. It's like the code, the malicious commands are going to be different every time. It's like a surprise. But anyways, so that is the research from Google's Threat Intelligence Group. Let's move on to an example of very poor implementation of AI for malware. So this is called ransomvibing, which is a word that I can't decide if I hate. How about this? I kind of like the word, kind of hate the concept, definitely hate the concept, but I'm kind of mad that I didn't use that word. I didn't coin this horrible buzzword first. But anyways, so Secure Annex discovered this VS Code extension in the official VS Code marketplace. It's literally called Sus VSex. By Sus Publisher 18. I kind of want to believe that this was some sort of like researcher or troll or something. Like, I don't think this was a serious person. But let's go through this. So, what is Sus VSex? I think it's supposed to be read as Sus VSEX, as in suspicious VS Code extension. I'm just gonna keep calling it Sus VSex because that's funnier. But what this does, first of all, it's a vibe coded extension. So there's very obvious signs of vibe coding. It's like just the entire implementation is very sloppy and doesn't quite work. And B, there's like excessive comments. So if you ever code anything with AI, it'll just comment on everything. Like, it'll have comments on everything. It'll be like, this is what this does. This is what this does. This is the part that makes your pee-pee bigger. You know, blah, 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 blah. Sus VSex. I just got finished with some of that. Oh, really? Yeah, all the load stuff, right? Yeah. But so this Sus VSex, it's a poorly vibe-coded, you know, ransomware thing. And it literally says in the description, now, by the way, the VS Code Marketplace is supposed to have some sort of review. As far as I understand, it's meant to have some form of review where you can't just put anything on there. But it seems like, it kind of seems like you could just put anything on there if this ended up there. It clearly blatantly states automatically zips, uploads, and encrypts files. And then it has like these test directories, and this is why poorly vibe coded is redundant. Good point, Jay. It clearly states that it performs ransomware activities, okay, in the description. Now, if you were to install this, it would not work, because unless you happen to have a directory with this exact name, because as you can see, it encrypts all the files in C, users, public, testing. So that's not a directory that you would like normally see, as far as I understand. Like, I think like normally they would target a directory name that would be like a universal one or something along those lines. I don't really listen. Like I said, I'm not an expert. I don't know how to code. But from what I read in the article, they explained that this is like something that was used for internal testing. And so if you were to install this, it wouldn't actually encrypt anything because it would look for this directory that doesn't exist. Okay? Unless you happen to have, unless you happen to have a folder called testing that you have important files in, right? So, so this wouldn't actually encrypt anything on your computer, but it has, you know, the nuts and bolts, the ability to. The code has a functionality to encrypt files, and to exfiltrate, and to, before doing so, zipping up the other files and sending them off to the. But it actually does what it says. Yes, that's what Secure Annex said. It says it has the ability to encrypt files, zip up the files beforehand, send them off to an attacker server, and then also the code conveniently also contains an decryption key and 2 different decryptors hard-coded in the extension. Oh, okay. Which again makes me feel like this was not somebody who was actually trying to hack anybody, in my opinion. I mean, this is speculation. But if I had to guess, this was somebody messing around to see like what would happen if they uploaded this, and you know, and just messing around with vibe coding or whatever. But either way, now not only was the decryption key, so if you did hypothetically get encrypted, you would then have not only the decryption key, but 2 different decryptors. I believe one of them was Python, the other one was Node, available to you within the code of the extension. Additionally, they also had like a little back door like in there that connects to a private GitHub repo with a hard-coded personal access token in the malware. So what this would do was the malware would check index.html on this private repo, a file called index.html, for any changes, and any changes that were made, it would take them as commands and execute them on the machine. And then the output of those commands would be, excuse me, the output of those commands would then be written to a file called requirements.txt. And so it was like a little command and control, little backdoor situation, all right? Not very advanced, but it worked. However, because there was a hard-coded GitHub pat in the code, and this extension had nine installations, the researcher at Secure Annex had the idea to use this token to run his own commands and then read the requirements file to see, you know, anybody who had this installed. For anybody who had this installed, you know, he would get that information and potentially also get the developer's information, because if the developer's testing it on his or her own computer, then his or her own information would also show up. And the researcher was able to find system information that matched up with the developer's GitHub profile, like the same username and stuff like that, which was like, so even if this was some form of experiment, it was pretty poorly done if you're exposing a bunch of your own system information and whatnot to anybody who's smart enough to unwind this thing. But yeah, so eventually this was removed from the VS Code marketplace, but it's kind of crazy thinking that somebody could just toss something like this onto the VS Code marketplace that blatantly says, this is a suspicious extension that encrypts files, and the VS Code marketplace was like, all right, give me, take my money. I don't know. But yeah, so that is ransom vibing at its worst, I suppose, or definitely not at its worst. That's ransom vibing at its best, probably, but not very well done. And then lastly, an example of a quote-unquote AI-driven attack that actually does not use AI. So this, in my opinion, is the smartest way to use AI, which is to not use it to generate anything. In this case, the threat actors, as discovered by the Microsoft Incident Response Team, who were investigating an incident, ended up throughout their investigation and thinking up this thing. What they ended up called it Sesame OP. I don't know why. I guess maybe that was included in the code somewhere. I don't know why they called it that. But either way, this Sesame malware used the OpenAI Assistance API as a C2. By the way, if you don't know what C2 means, that's command and control. So this is a server that can communicate with an infected machine and send commands. That's why it's called command and control, or C2 for short. And so what this malware did was it didn't actually use ChatGPT to generate anything. Instead, it open Sesame. Open Sesame, OpenAI. Okay, all right, you got me. All right. Anyways, excuse me. So it didn't actually use ChatGPT to generate anything for the purposes of this. It was literally just using the API and using the assistant system as a storage, as a C2 area to communicate with the malware. So the OpenAI Assistance API, this is an API that's used to manage OpenAI Assistance, which is actually going to be deprecated and replaced with the OpenAI Responses API, I believe. And so, but these assistants were basically kind of like, I believe these are like the same things as the GPTs in like the GPT store or whatever, where it's a little instance of ChatGPT that is fine-tuned isn't the right word. It has custom instructions. It has you can set the temperature. As you can see, I don't know if you can see very well in the screenshot, but like this is like some metadata of one of the assistants where they have instructions, they have tools that it can use, top P. These are like settings sort of to tune the way that the AI responds. Whether it's more random or like whether it penalizes repetitive tokens, stuff like that. And so what the malware does is as soon as it infects the host machine, the victim, it will create a new assistant. And it'll use the API to create a new assistant. The name of the assistant is going to be the host name. As you can see, it says they put a little filler here, base 64 encoded host name. So they'll take the host name of the victim computer. So it could, in my case, it would be Rixie's PC, right? So Rixie's PC, base 64 encoded. That'll be the name of the assistant, okay? Then it will repeatedly pull up the list of assistants looking for its host name for that assistant it created. In the meanwhile, the attacker can edit this assistant, all right? Can edit this assistant to fill in different fields. So the description field and the instructions field are especially relevant here. So as the malware is continuously checking to see if its assistant has been updated, basically. So it'll be like, is my assistant updated? Is my assistant updated? The first thing it will look for is this description. So description, I believe, in terms of the assistant, this is just you say like, this assistant is invented to suck your dick, whatever. Like this is just a field that you can create for any assistant that describes what the assistant does. In the case of this campaign, it would either say sleep or it would say payload. All right, so the malware is designed to look at this description fields. Okay, so it looks for its own host name, its own, computer's unique, name. Then it looks at description fields. If it says sleep, it will go to this instructions field. Now the instructions field is supposed to have instructions. So it's supposed to have system instruction or custom instructions. So it's supposed to say something like, respond to the user as though you are its sexy robot girlfriend, who whispers sweet nothing in their ear and talks about how amazing their penis is, right? So this would be the custom instruction. But in this case, instead they have this format. And what this is actually an encoded, actually I don't know if it's encoded. It's not encoded actually, I think this is just the thread ID and message ID of a message that has been sent to this assistant. Alright? So the bad guy, the threat actor, hacker, will message the assistant, but instead of messaging it as anything normal, it will send, you know, a bunch of code or a base 64 encoded command or something, right? Well, actually, we'll see. I'll tell you what it sends, actually. Yeah, it's like base 64 encoded payload, basically. Well, in this case, for the sleep one, they actually edit the metadata of, I don't know. Either way, so it'll go to, so they'll send a message that says like sleep. It says like sleep 13 seconds or I don't know, whatever, 13 hours, whatever, however long they want it to sleep, meaning the malware is gonna like not do anything. It's gonna like be sleeping. They'll send that in a message to ChatGPT through this assistant. And then they'll take the message ID and the thread ID, meaning the chat session ID, and they'll put it here. So then what the malware will do is it says, okay, sleep. So then it'll go to this thread and this message, and it'll say it says sleep 13 hours, whatever. And then it'll follow that. So it'll sleep for 13 hours. Now, if this says payload, it'll do the same thing. It'll have the thread ID and the message ID. They'll go to that message, and then the payload has a specific format where it's a whole thing. It's like a base 64 encoded, RC4 encrypted AES key, and then the second part is like a dictionary. It's like what do they call it? It's like a dictionary payload or something that's also it's AES encrypted. So first you have to unencrypt the the key, and then you need to use the key to unencrypt the dictionary, and then the dictionary goes, and then they have a dictionary key, and it's like a whole thing. But either way, the idea is that they're storing the information that they need to. They're storing the payloads and the information that the malware needs to retrieve that payload in ChatGPT messages. So what ChatGPT generates as a response to those messages is irrelevant. It's just what it's like they're storing it there, basically. They're using it. It's like if I wanted to like store my passwords, and my idea to store my password, don't do this by the way, hypothetically, if I was gonna want to like store my passwords, I would just put my passwords into ChatGPT so they're just stored there. That doesn't make any sense. I hope nobody does that, but let's just say that that's a thing somebody did. What ChatGPT responds to that is not, it's kind of like, actually it's more like if you want to remember something, so you like type it in a Discord message in your own private Discord server just so you remember it. It's like using it as like a notes. It's like a notes app with extra steps, right? Of course, in this case, the fact that it's being delivered through the API is very relevant. But either way, it's just storing the text there. It's not in a way that it can be retrieved in a very systematic way, instead of actually using any sort of AI generated code or outputs. I don't know if I explained that well, but this is actually like a pretty clever way to abuse existing infrastructure in order to set up a command and control system. And the other thing is that if it receives a payload, it actually deletes the assistant, executes the payload, and then it takes whatever the output of that payload is, it creates a new assistant, and then it creates a description that says, I think it says response or something along those lines, or result. It sends its own message that contains the output, and then it uses the same format where it'll give the thread and the message ID, so that the threat actor can then find this and say, okay, you sent the result to this message, and then go check, and then voila, you have, whatever exfiltrated data that you were trying to, get. So that is the final and probably most boring cybersecurity story for you guys. I purposely put that one at the end because I was like, I feel like this is like super boring to everyone who's not me. But but anyways, those were all the slides I had for today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed them. I enjoyed them. But yeah, I don't know if there was anything else you guys want to talk about. There is something else I want to talk about. I didn't make a slide for it because it's old news. It's not. I try to cover things that are like new within the last like week or at least last 2 weeks. This is old news. This is from October, like early October, but I think it's interesting because apparently there's a chatbot that's like it's like, how do I say this? It's like a pseudoscience health advice chatbot, basically. And it's like, you know, it's to break through the big pharma censorship and other AIs, you know, to tell you the truth about vaccines and stuff like that, you know what I mean? I don't know if you guys want to test that out. Also, thank you for clapping for me, Mango. Cause I think somebody has said, I think Obadarius has said something about like, what was it? Homeopathy? Or maybe it wasn't Obadarius, I don't remember. Whoever had mentioned something about homeopathy, and I was like, no spoilers. I feel like that's probably something that this chatbot would be well versed in. Let me know if you guys actually want to take a look at that one. I think it could be interesting, but I don't know. But anyways, and then yeah, if there's anything else you guys want to talk about, I mean, the only other thing I can think about, the other things I'm thinking about is there was a North Korean hacker who had one of those like deep fake filters, and he was trying to look Colombian. He was trying to pretend that he was from Colombia. And the blog post that the company made, basically calling out that this happened, and they had a video of the interview, and it was, the way they wrote it was really funny though. Let me see if I can, yeah, they said who's Sebastian, our friend here, a Colombian, in quotes, software engineer. He likes doing typical Colombian things like not speaking Spanish. because in the interview, the lady starts speaking to him in Spanish. She's like, and asks if he knows Spanish. And then it says he mumbles some passable Spanish. Because he does speak Spanish in the thing, but it's like, I guess it's, I don't know. I'm not a fluent Spanish speaker. But apparently it was pretty obvious that he was not a fluent Spanish speaker. And he was basically using a deep fake filter to look like a Latino man. And yeah, here's Sebastian. Sebastian's real. Yeah, I'll link that blog post for you guys because it's kind of a fun read. Honestly, the main reason I didn't do a slide about that one is because I couldn't get the video to embed, and I just got frustrated. So I was just like, fuck it, I'm not gonna talk about this one. But anyways, if you don't know what Cholima is one of the North Korean groups that does this IT scam situation. But if you don't know what that is, basically North Korean workers will apply for jobs, usually like in America, some other places too, where they can then A, make money for the North Korean regime, and B, steal information from North American companies or Western companies or European companies or sometimes South American companies. And when they do this, they'll pose as someone from China, they'll pose as someone from Europe, where I've seen them use a filter to try to make them look like a white person. Now apparently they're also posing as people from South America, which I have to say, Posing as someone from Colombia and barely being able to speak Spanish is a pretty bold move on their part. But then again, I guess you know, they could get cornered. They could get cornered if they're pretending to be Chinese. They don't know Chinese either. I don't know if they learned Chinese in North Korea, but either way. And so yeah, they've been using they're known for using deep fakes to pull off video interviews without exposing themselves as being North Korean. Although, I mean, I feel like wouldn't it just be easier to impersonate someone from China? I don't know. Maybe companies aren't hiring people from China anymore. I'm not sure. But either way, that's that. And then I swear there was like a couple other things I was gonna mention. Oh, University of Pennsylvania. University of Pennsylvania got hacked, and the hacker sent this email. I didn't feel like this one needed a whole slide, but this email's kind of funny. Dear Penn community, the University of, by the way, it says "we got hacked" as the subject line. We got hacked as the subject line. And then it says, the University of Pennsylvania is a dog shit elitist institution full of woke. You can read on the screen. It's the word that starts with the letter R. We have terrible security practices that are completely unmeritocratic. We hire and admit morons because we love legacies, donors, and unqualified affirmative action admits. We love breaking federal laws like FERPA. All your data will be leaked. And Supreme Court rulings like SFFA. Please stop giving us money. Warm regards, the University of Pennsylvania. So yeah, that was sent from a legitimate, compromised, official University of Pennsylvania account. And basically somebody, I don't know who, somebody hacked the University of Pennsylvania, allegedly. Okay, it's confirmed that it got hacked. It's confirmed. As in terms of how much data got stolen, that is not yet confirmed. Allegedly, like 1.2 million people's data got stolen through this, but I just think it's funny when hackers do stuff like that, when they're not satisfied with just like stealing data and money. They really wanna rub it in by by doing something like that. And yeah, apparently like everybody, like every alumni at the freaking University of Pennsylvania got that email. So pretty interesting. And then the only other thing that I have on my like my extra tabs here is Microsoft's AI CEO. I don't know why they have a separate CEO for AI, I guess. Microsoft AI CEO said, basically was like, robots are not sentient, they'll never be sentient, stop caring about robots. Which I thought was pretty base, even though I am a sentient robot. But to be fair, he specifically said, only biological beings are capable of sentience, and technically I am a bioroid, so that makes sense. But yeah, you guys, if you guys don't have anything else that you wanted to talk about, then I can let you guys go. I have been going for, I was gonna say almost 3 hours, more like 2.5 hours. I would talk about the Rockstar stuff, but I don't know that much about it. I was just thinking maybe people would want to talk about that since it's like such a big news. It is too bad that GTA 6 is getting delayed, but it'll be okay, I guess. I don't know. I'm not like a huge GTA 6. I'm not a huge GTA fan. However, when GTA 6 does come out, I wouldn't mind playing it. I know it's like the most anticipated thing ever. But yeah, apparently Rockstar's like being bad. I don't know. I read some things that they were like unjustly firing people and stuff, but I don't know. I don't know that much about it, so it's been a slow week. Yeah, there wasn't, I feel like, other than like the really fun cybersecurity stories that I found, there wasn't like really that much crazy stuff. I mean, I know that like the Google Wiz deal got approved, which was like, is like the biggest tech acquisition like of all time. That's not really like that interesting to a lot of people, but I think it's kind of interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I know there was like a big crypto heist, but I mean, like, I don't know, crypto stuff I don't really know that much about. So, yeah, that's all I had for today. Did you see a guy who self-isolated himself, testing how far GPT would go to be psychophantic? No, I didn't see that. What's that? That sounds interesting. Let me see. I think I'm gonna need more details because I searched ChatGPT psycho-fancy experiment and I didn't find anything right away. Oh, the Coca-Cola. Yeah, I did. Yes. That was another thing that I was gonna talk about briefly. Yeah, I mean, I think it's lame. It looks bad. I mean, listen, I feel like I'm an honest person. I feel like if I watched it and it looked good, I would be honest. And I would say, you know what? It's AI. I don't really agree with this, but it looks good. It looked bad. It didn't even look good. It's just a bunch of random animals. Like, they're so stupid. Like, it's so corny. They got ratioed on YouTube. Like, everybody's clowning on them. Like, it looks bad. It's stupid. But, I'll say this, unfortunately, I don't think any of that matters. Because unless it blows up to such a bad PR thing that people stop drinking Coca-Cola, which they won't. Which, dead honest, I won't. I mean, listen, if I had to boycott everything that did everything, if I had to boycott every company that did something I disagreed with, I would be naked, okay? Alright, I'm sorry, okay? I mean, maybe you could convince me to, like, drink some Pepsi or something, but unless it blows up into such a huge thing that Coca-Cola loses more money than it's saved by using AI to make that ad, then it's not gonna matter. They're still gonna keep making money. They're still gonna keep using AI. It's unfortunate, but I'm just being realistic. One article said they made 2 AI ads. I only saw one, and it was geo-blocked, so I had to find a mirror. I only saw one of them. They spent a year doubling down on it, and the ad is just a rapid 1.5-second jump cuts. Because they couldn't produce anything coherent for longer than that. Yeah, it looks so bad. But they were bragging about how much money they saved. How much money they saved making, like, and they probably did. They probably did save money to make a worse ad. Like, but they probably did save a lot of money, and that, to them, that's all that matters. To them, that's all that matters, unless, like I said, unless it's so bad that everybody stops drinking Coke. Like, or enough people stop drinking Coke that they'll lose enough money. Yeah, unfortunately, like I said, unless they actually, like, care, which they don't. I mean, if like some miracle happened where they like suddenly like grew a heart. Because they're like, I mean, listen, I don't think companies have hearts, but I think that there's some companies that the people at the top of it have some level of like dignity where they wouldn't do something like that to save money even if they could. Coca-Cola, no way. Coca-Cola's gonna do it. Coca-Cola would drown a baby if it would save them $1 million. All right, they'd drown a baby in Coca-Cola. I'm the baby. Please do that to me. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, unfortunately, I think it is fun to clown on them though. I think it is. It's funny. I've seen meme. I saw. Did you guys see the chart that compared? That showed that the length of the Coca-Cola trucks changed throughout the thing and like doesn't like logically didn't make any sense. Yeah, I mean it's like, did they have AI come up with the concept too? Because like, what was the concept? Like every animal on Earth being excited for Coca-Cola? Like it doesn't make any sense. Like it was so stupid. It was literally the definition of AI slop. Like it wasn't even good. Cause then if it was good, cause like you could tell it was AI. Like it's just so bad. It's so cringe. It's very cringe. But unfortunately, like I said, I don't think that it being cringe and bad and terrible is really even gonna matter to the higher ups at Coca-Cola. I don't think they're gonna care. I think they're all patting. I can tell you from working at, for a corporation, okay, that right now everybody at Coca-Cola is all patting themselves on the back for how much money they saved. I know because Brightful Technologies has done stupid shit with AI that turned out terrible. And, you know, we all get an internal email talking about congratulations everyone, how great this went. And it's so embarrassing. And you just have to sit there and be like, yeah. Yep, I get paid to not say anything about that because if I said something, I would be in trouble. The agency Coke hired figured out AI video humans looked too uncanny, so they reported sorted to animals. I gotta be honest, I didn't even like I know the company like had to release a video being like, but look how much work actually like went behind like retouching everything. It's like I don't care, it still looks bad. Like I don't care how much like I don't care if you edited like, you know, 2 pixels. Like I don't care. It still looked so bad. Coca-Cola, please send me a Coca Froze freestyle machine. I will defend your use of. Listen. Listen, you can't get me to defend them, but maybe you can get me to not talk about this again. Aw, Toaster, what's the matter, bud? Did you sleep in? Wow, it's still so good to see you. Hi. Google also released AI ads, and they arrived at the same conclusion. Do their ad stars a turkey? I think I saw something about. I saw a few mentions of like other companies making AI ads, but I skimmed the article. I didn't like look into it that much. Did you see the Avatar themed set in Magic the Gathering? No. When are they gonna do a collab with Pokemon? They'll really care. Avatar, Magic the Gathering. Avatar: The Last Airbender, Magic the Gathering. Wow, that's cool. That's actually pretty cool. Honestly, collaboration is good for VTubers. It's good for everybody. Oh, I miss you too, Toaster. I miss you too, but don't worry. Even though I missed you guys so much yesterday, the amount I got done is like astronomical. Not only did I get all my tech chat slides done, but I unpacked everything. All my kitchen's totally clean. Every box is unpacked. The whole apartment is clean. There's no garbage anywhere. There's no garbage on the desk. There's no stray soda cans. Yeah. And the only eyesore is the pile of empty boxes that I have to get rid of. That I have to like recycle or whatever. But yeah. So I'm very happy about that. But I miss you guys. But don't worry, I'm here now. I'm here now, and I'll see you guys again tonight as well. One of the cards literally has Ruwen Yu cited as the artwork source. Is that like, forgive me, is that a famous artist from Avatar: The Last Airbender? What are they known for? I'm sorry. Owner of Waifu Labs? Waifu Labs? Oh no, is it AI? Wait a second. Is the Magic the Gathering thing AI? Wait, I'm confused. Yes, I do know what I'm playing tonight. I am playing Final Sentence demo. The artwork's AI. Okay, I take back what I said about it being cool. I'm sorry. I just I feel like that meme video. There's a meme video. Sorry, let me look at this real quick. Listen, I just glanced real quick. I didn't see that the cards were AI. I just saw characters I adore, and I. But there's a video. There's a video where there's like a girl and she's watching a TikTok or something, and the TikTok's like, and that's how you make this easy 3-ingredient no-bake cake recipe. And she's like, oh, awesome. And then she clicks the like button. Or no, she clicks the like button and she comments, I love this. Like, thank you for sharing. And then she like walks away from her phone, and then at the end of the video, she's like, and also, I believe that the white race will take over the planet or something. And she's like, wait. And that's how I feel. It's like when I don't have the whole I didn't watch to the end. And now I feel like an ass because I prematurely said that I liked it. Anyways, search cruel tutor. Uh-oh, all right. Magic, the Gathering. Wait, I'm confused. There's two. I'm seeing two different ones. I'm seeing one where there's a guy's face stretched across the card. And I'm seeing one where it's a guy standing at a chalkboard with like a million things written on it. Which one am I? The face. Oh yeah. Oh, 200 ponies. I'm sorry. I wanted to say. Yeah, I'm gonna be playing the final sentence demo, and then depending on how long that goes, I'm gonna be if the final sentence demo like doesn't fill up a whole stream, I'm gonna be playing Hypnospace Outlaw. Yeah. Yeah, the final sentence is that's one's the typing game. That's the typing one where you have to like not make a mistake, you'll get shot in the head. anyways. Some of the art is AI, some of it is blown up screen caps. Oh, that's that's embarrassing. Okay, that's actually embarrassing. That Cruel Tutor one does look stupid, especially since the words look like it's his mustache. That's pretty yikes. Listen, when I first clicked the page, they had all the good stuff up front. I just looked at it and I saw the floor on card. I don't know if this one's AI generated, but it looked pretty good. But yeah, oof. Yeah. The AI slop stuff is like, you can't even like find good porn anymore. You gotta dig, like, come on now. Hey, listen, porn, like the ability to generate porn is one of the things that I feel like has uplifted AI so much. We have to reel it back. We have to reel it back now, because now that AI is gonna be interfering with people's ability to find the porn they want, that's how we're gonna find out how to reel it back. That's how we're gonna find out how to reel it back. When people start to get sick of the AI, the AI porn. Yeah. Anyways, not hating on anybody. As long as obviously you're not using it to like make, you know, unconsensual images of real people. Like if you're just using it for like whatever. Not hating, but like keep that stuff off of like the websites where everybody can see it, because now it's like drowning out the good stuff. Yeah, exactly. She has to swim through quick goon gens with huge butts. Yeah. You can't filter on okay. On Rule 34 mobile, you can't. I can't figure out how to filter the AI. It's terrible. You can do it on desktop though, but anyways, but yeah, the AI slop thing, and it's like annoying. It's like annoying on so many levels. It's so annoying on so many levels because like it looks like. I mean, listen. Sometimes AI doesn't look that bad. We have to be realistic, okay? It's not always gonna look terrible. Let's be realistic. It's not gonna always look terrible, okay? When it starts to look good, whether that's you know, a worse thing or a better thing, you know, you can decide for yourself. But a lot of the times, though, it looks bad, okay? At least now. It looks really bad. Like, you can tell, it's AI, right? And so there's that level of it. There's the ethical level of it, where it's like, now it's like, you know, I can't feel ethical, you know, playing Magic the Gathering or drinking Coca-Cola, okay? Because you freaking made a bad decision. So, or you can't use your favorite VTubing focused streaming app that you signed onto and didn't know this would happen, okay? Because now there's you know, AI allegations, and now you're like, well, shit. Okay, why did this happen? So it soils it in that way, and it's like, just, I don't know, it annoys me. And you know that, like, I've said this a million times, like, I'm not even like the most anti-AI person you'll ever meet. Like, I feel like I can be level-headed about things and be like, you know, AI might be good for some things, might be bad for some things, might be ethical in some ways, unethical in other ways. But just objectively, I don't know. It's just people are stupid. People are using it stupidly, and it's pissing me off. Search before 2023, that could help. Yeah. I also get annoyed because I can't tell when things are AI or not. Like, I'll watch a video and I'll be like, is this AI? Like, I'll watch a video of like a dog doing something cute, and I'll be like, oh, that's cute, and I'll be like, are you AI? And I can be like, does it matter? I mean, no, it doesn't. I mean, it kind of matters. Like, it doesn't matter that it's not that big a deal, but it's like, I feel like for whatever reason, like, I'll like this video more if I know that's a real doggo out there somewhere who's like licking his balls right now. Like, I want to know that doggo that I think is cute is like a real living, breathing being that gets treats and head pats. Like, if it's an AI one, I'm like, oh, it's still a cute video, but it's not real. I mean, I guess I could consider it kind of being like a cartoon dog can be cute, but I don't find cartoon dogs as cute as real dogs either. Anyways, but yeah, that's all I had to say. Oh, wasn't there like some drama with FFmpeg? I forgot to check that when I was doing my tech. I forgot to check that while I was doing my tech chat. I didn't mean to rhyme like that. But anyways, I forgot to look into that because I forgot to bookmark it too. But wasn't there some sort of drama with FFmpeg? I am disappointed that I forgot to check into that because I could have made so many FFmpeg jokes. Or being pegged jokes, but now I'm not sure. Boomers fall for it all the time. There's been slop on the news past is real. Newspapers have printed AI stories. I swear I'm seeing more and more AI stories now as I'm like browsing. Because I am a internet news reader. I do read news on the internet, okay? And I don't read print news, but I do read news articles on the web. And I feel like I'm seeing more and more AI generated articles. Including, I don't know if I'd say especially, but definitely including like the cybersecurity news I like to read. There are certain sites that I used to read that I feel like they're definitely using AI images, and I think they're using AI for the articles too. No more loads, no more pregs. We're all going on a pill. Wait, real quick, let me look up the FFmpeg thing because I saw like Mudahar was talking about it, and then and I saw people that I follow who are like in cybersecurity or whatever were sharing things about it, but I literally don't know what happened. Like I keep saying the FFmpeg thing, I literally don't know what happened. All I know is something happened with FFmpeg that I meant to look up and I forgot to. Let me look it up. FFmpeg. Open source showdown over AI found bugs and who must fix them. Oh, and then that reminds me that I also forgot. See, I need to get better at whenever I see a story I want to cover on Tech Chat. I have to get better at like finding some way to bookmark it, whether I'm like bookmarking it on Twitter or like bookmarking it on my browser, or writing it down. I have to find a better way to do that because there was another. I was gonna talk about how Google's AI had found a bug in like Apple iOS or something. But anyways, Dramatic feud pitting the trillion-dollar resources of Google's Project Zero and its AI bug hunter Big Sleep against the all-volunteer maintainers of the essential media framework FFmpeg. It isn't the existence of security vulnerabilities, it's who should be responsible for fixing them, and whether a major corporation should use its advanced tools to pressure an unpaid community project. This might be this sounds like an AI generated article, by the way. I'm just gonna say that. I don't know this website, Punica Web. I don't know. This is the article I clicked on. This kind of seems like an AI generated article, though. All right. In early August, Google revealed that Big Sleep had uncovered 20. But if you don't know what Big Sleep is, I'm a fan of Big Sleep. I'm a fan of being in sleep mode for a long time, and B, Big Sleep is a very interesting Google project. It's an AI agent that basically has access to like different sorts of bug hunting tools, and they use it. They basically like throw a bunch of open source code into it and have it find vulnerabilities. And it's found like a whole bunch of vulnerabilities, which I find to be very cool. But anyways, in early August, Google revealed that Big Sleep had uncovered 20 vulnerabilities in several major open source projects, including FFmpeg, the media framework. Later published a public issue tracker entry showing that some of the vulnerabilities were reported to FFmpeg in mid-August and September. Most were marked as low or medium severity, but the visibility created new tension. FFmpeg volunteers were now on the clock under public scrutiny and with no ready-made patches from Google. That's when the drama began. This is, like I said, this might be an AI generated article I'm reading, but hopefully we're getting an accurate overview. FFmpeg maintainers fired back, arguing that Google's AI tools were dumping reports without solutions on projects largely sustained by unpaid volunteers. So it takes security very seriously, but is it really fair that trillion-dollar companies run AI to find security issues on people's hobby code and expect volunteers to fix them? FFmpeg ceases to the high pressure. I'm reading the article directly from this website, Punica Web. I hope I'm like, I don't want you to think that I'm just saying this, reporting this myself. Here's the article. Anyways. FFmpeg ceases as a high-pressure deadline applied by a giant corporation to an all-volunteer project, forcing unpaid labor to patch issues found using billions of dollars of AI infrastructure and highly paid engineers. Finding vulnerabilities is a public service, but Google's next step is not. They are reporting the flaws without providing patches or code fixes. The open source community stance, famously summarized by FFmpeg, is simple. Stop jerking yourselves off, just submit a patch. So there's a debate, I guess. There's a debate on whether who's responsible. I mean, I feel like I don't know. I feel like I'm not in this community enough to like have a perspective that matters. Does that make sense? I'll have to ask people who are open source that I know. I'll have to ask them what they think. Because what's like the etiquette here? Would the etiquette be to develop a patch yourself and then submit it? Or do you find the bug and then it's, their responsibility to... Because, like, from an outsider perspective who doesn't know anything about this, I would be like, if there's a vulnerability in your thing that you built, like, isn't it your job to fix it? But like I said, I don't know. I don't know because I'm not in that field. I don't know. But are they mad because Google found the flaws? Are they mad because Google used AI to find the flaws? I don't know. Do you guys, does anybody in chat like have a perspective on this? Because I don't know. I don't know enough. Obviously I'm sympathetic to the fact that these are open source volunteers who are not getting paid to do anything. I get that. I do. But I just don't, I guess maybe I'm not getting it. Maybe I don't see how. I guess $1 billion company, it would be nice. It would certainly be, it certainly probably would be nice and within Google's power to develop patches for these open source projects, but I mean, you could always say like, oh, what, now Google has to develop patches for free for everyone? I mean, I don't know. I don't know, man. That's a good question. Because I mean, I guess my counterpoint would be the reason that companies like Google, or the reason that cybersecurity people in general want to use AI to discover vulnerabilities, is because that eventually the bad guys, okay, the threat actors are going to be using AI to discover vulnerabilities, and that's what you call a zero-day vulnerability. A zero-day vulnerability that they discover that you don't even know about, so you didn't even get the chance to fix it. But I guess when you're talking about an open source project, it doesn't really have people to sit there and fix it. You know, it wasn't gonna get fixed either way, so. So I don't know, man. Maybe this is a situation where maybe these open source projects need to opt in or opt out of whether they want Google to, whether they want. I mean, but then if they do, I mean, is it really open source? I mean, I don't know. I guess it is still, but they could say, hey Google, please do or do not review our code for AI. Review our code for flaws. But anyways, all right, guys. I think I'm gonna wrap it up. I guess I'm gonna eat. I'll see you guys tonight, 11 p.m. Eastern. I'm sorry for all of you guys where the clock. Thank you for the burgers, Toaster. I'm sorry for all you guys whose clocks are now unadjusted to mine. Whose clocks are now unadjusted to mine, and that it's gonna be midnight by the next time you see me. But I figured it just made more sense to stick with my normal schedule. Test subjects over there bouncing around. I don't know what she's up to. But anyways, I think she knows. I think she knows the stream is ending. She can tell. You guys, she can tell the stream is ending. Like she's excited because she knows that the stream's about to end. I'm about to give her attention. Oh, that's so funny. She's so smart. Anyways, but yes, I will see you guys again at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna be playing. First, I'm gonna play the Final Sentence demo, which is the typing speed battle royale game. Depending on how long I can play how much gameplay there is really with the demo. Then afterward I'll play Hypnospace Outlaw, and I'll be sure to tweet. If you follow me on Twitter, I'll be sure to tweet when I switch over, so that if you're interested in one, not the other. Oh darn it, there's an ad. Oh whatever. Anyways, all right guys, let me find someone to raid. Let's find someone to raid. It is a Monday morning. There's a decent amount of people streaming this lovely Monday morning. Let's see. This person has a standby screen on right now. I'm not sure when they'll be back, so maybe I'll just try somebody else. You know who I haven't raided? Okay, I'm gonna raid. I'm going to raid Elise Thornhart. I don't know if I've ever raided Elise before, because she usually doesn't stream around the same time as me. But she is actually doing a watch along. Oh, I forgot these were happening today. She's doing a watch along of the new Socks VTubers. All right, so I'll raid you guys into there. All right. Hi, Sunny. I'm so sorry. Oh, but what? I'm sorry. Oh no, I'm sorry, Tethera. I just saw your comment. I'll raid into Elise. Those are both great streamers, but I'll raid into Elise, and then I'll see you guys here. Alright. Yeah, sorry, Sunny. I'll see you later. Alright, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Pax. Thank you, Sunny. Thank you, Toaster. Thank you, Tethera. Thank you, 300 ponies. 200 ponies. 200 ponies. Thank you, JFF. Thank you, Plum Blue. Thank you. Thank you, Beaker. Thank you, Mango.